Hello, everybody! Welcome to DragonLance Shadow of War! Thank you so much for joining us here at Questline. This is going to be an epic 4-session adventure, which you can catch us here on the Questline Twitch and YouTube. The stream will be going live every Tuesday, so never miss an episode, 5 p.m. PST. We're so excited that you're all here. Oh my God, this is awesome. Look at all the people here waving at you. Yeah, let's do it. We are broadcasting from the traditional territories of the Musqueam Nation and recognize the privilege to work, play, and create on these beautiful lands. And to also, for anyone out there who may be Ready to Roll fans, of course, Ready to Roll, our flagship show here at Questline, make sure you stick around at the end of our stream here because there's going to be some bonus content. We're going to be streaming the last 3 episodes of Season 1 right after this story ends. So make sure you stick around and check that out. It'll be right at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But let's get into it, everybody. Let's introduce our players, our lovely storytellers here. Let's go around the room. Let's start off with Louise.
Oh, hi, everybody. Starting with me. I'm Luis Carazo. I'm an actor, and I play some tabletop role-playing games. I've been on LA by Night and on Critical Role's Exandria and Limited Calamity, and on commercials and a couple other TV shows. And I'm happy to be here.
Huzzah! And what are you playing?
I am playing Velzin Alara, half-elf rune knight fighter.
Hell yeah. Thank you. And over to Michelle.
Hello, my name is Michelle Wynn Bradley, and I am a professional tabletop RPG on-screen actor. I'm a producer. I've been on shows such as New York by Night, the Vampire the Masquerade show, and that's still going. I've been on Paizo shows for Pathfinder and Starfinder that are airing right now. Actually, there's a Starfinder show called Drift Crisis, which is very fun. I play a weird, like, French Skittermander in that. It's bizarre. You can find me on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny, and today I am playing Strigid, who is a Wild Hunt Lunar Sorcerer, which is a new class for DragonLance.
Moon power, baby! Let's go over to Quincy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Quincy from QuincysTavern on TikTok, social media. I do recipes and affirmation and kind of like to live in my own little fantasy tavern kind of bit. But when I'm not doing that, I like to play D&D with my friends. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here. I'm playing Felix Clubfoot Chance. He's a Harangon, and he is an arcane trickster rogue. And he's got some tricks up his sleeve, and I'm really excited for you to meet him and for him to get into some sticky situations.
Rabbit, you. Okay, and over to Tank.
Hi, my name is Tank Tolman. I am the nerd gym trainer on TikTok. I do wholesome positivity, hammer, and just overall fun fitness, motivation, and getting people to live a happier, healthier life. And
what are you playing, my man?
I am playing Tyran Ironskull, Hill Dwarf Ancestral Guardian of Barbarian, and he's gonna have fun swinging his hammer and listening to some crazy spirits in his head.
Right on, man. Heavy metal to the last. And we're over to Trevor.
Hi, I'm Trevor Gemma. I am the Chief Creative Officer here at Questline and producer for Ready to Roll. And you can find me as Grave Mortem on Twitch and all socials and stuff. And I'm playing Wayreth Rolligtide. I'm a Hill Dwarf Druid Circle of Stars.
Badass. We gotta do like stars, moon, astral stars.
Yeah.
I like it. And last but certainly not least, Roz.
Hello, everybody. I'm Roz, also Rosilla Online, and I am creative director over here and the dungeon master for Ready to Roll. So you'll see me after this, making stuff up, shaking my hands around. And today I am playing Tango Flux, and she is a gnome artificer from Mount Nevermind, where she is attempting to perfect the physics of flight. And so she pushes this guy off of cliffs all the time.
All right, players have been introduced, and we would be remiss if we did not do one last introduction before getting to things, everybody. We here at Questline also have the privilege of having a live DJ on the set. Casey, if you want to come out here for just a split second. Hey, everyone. Hey, Casey.
Nice.
Casey will be engineering things behind the scenes, making sure all the music and everyone's player themes are getting played when they need to. So we thank Casey very much for doing that, and he's gonna be responsible for all the setting the mood and the tone throughout the adventure. So yeah, all right, everyone. With all that out of the way, I think we are getting ready to dive in. Thank you all so much for showing up. This is gonna be the first series of many games to come from the Questline channel with this amazing studio that all the team put together for all of you to enjoy. We're gonna be going through a lot of other games, D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, City of Mist, and all sorts of stuff to look forward to throughout the year. But all that is not today, because today is Dragonlance, baby. So let's grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite sets of dice, as we dive into Session 1 of Dragonlance, Shadow of War. Okay. Our story begins on the continent of Ansalon, one of the several continents in the world of Kryn. Once a large singular landmass where many cultures thrived and prospered, from the forest of the Sylvasti elves to the dwarven mountain kingdom of Thor Barden, the Knights of Solamnia, or the mages of high sorcery. But those have now since long been torn asunder in these lands, broken by an earth-shattering event known as the Cataclysm, a time when the gods rained down fiery vengeance upon the greedy and overreaching might of the modern societies, forever dividing into time before and after. Many records before the Cataclysm are lost to us. Those that do survive are often perplexing, referencing nations and cultures that no longer exist. As the civilizations of Kryn rebuilt and new societies arose, the world learned to live with a jarring truth. The gods were truly gone. But we need not concern ourselves with the myths and legends of old. Our story today is a much more personal one, as it was recently discovered that famed adventurer and ally to the realm, Ispin Greenshield, has recently passed away. A person who holds a very special connection to our heroes at this very table. And as this news begins to spread, invitations are being sent out for an upcoming celebration of life for this fallen comrade of Calumet. And as we slowly fade out from the landscapes of Ansalon, we zero in on our heroes here at this table and what they are doing currently before they receive their invitation to this event. And we'll start with Velzin. So Velzin, if you'd like, you can introduce your character at this point, what they look like, and what they are currently doing.
So Velzin is about 5'10". He is a young man, has a glint in his eyes of ambition, and there's a fieriness to him. He has joined the guards of the city that he's in, and he had been on patrol for a couple of days out as a part of an assignment. And upon coming home, saw that there'd been a letter waiting for him for a few days. And that's the letter notifying him of the passing of Ispin. And the first thing he does is, before he even finishes reading it, is he starts to head out of the barracks and home, his family home. The first thing he wants to do is to make up for lost time, get to where this funeral is going to be for his old mentor.
Okay. We have right here the scroll and the letter that you had received, right down there, the wax seal. But as this letter is, have you opened said letter yet, or you've read where like the contents of everything?
First, not even half of it is read before I start to rush home.
Okay. And in going home, are you going to your family's place to meet your parents or any siblings or anything like that? Are they still around at this point?
My father's been gone. Ispin used to work for my father, at least that's what I understood. I've seen him visit my home a number of times, and he would accompany my father, who's a merchant, on a number of business trips. And while he was there, he paid some special attention to me. And when they would return from said business trips, he would often stay with us for a few months. And he always seemed incredibly close to my parents. But he saw something in me that I never really, he looked at me in a way that I never saw my parents look at me. And he started to train me. And home has never quite been the same since the last time he left. My father left shortly after him, and I haven't seen him since. My mother is still home. And I've wanted nothing more than to leave and to find my way to Solamnia, to follow Ispin, to find him again and pick up where I believe we left off. And so the news of his passing is a shock. And the first thing I do is go back what was technically home, where my mother still is. I want to get whatever I have and hit the road. See him one last time and I guess say farewell.
All right. So as you're making your way back to your homeland, we're gonna do that, play out the scene, you coming home. You're there, you open the door. Yeah, does your home have a particular look to it? Does it have, is it a bombastic place? Is it more small-mannered?
It is, I'd say, like a mid-level. My parents were pretty successful merchants. We're not aristocracy by any means, but we are a good upper middle class household. There are a couple of items in the house that are expensive. The door has a frame to it that has some excellent craftsmanship to it. And the doorknob in particular, which I think is really interesting, is something that meant something to my father. He really cared about that first thing and the last thing that you put your hands on before you leave somewhere and when you return. And there's something that adorns it. It's made of wood, but it's got these veins of gold in it, and that look like roots, and they spiral around it and come to a point. And every time I put my hands on that, I think of him. I think of my dad, who I haven't seen, but then I think of the last time I saw Ispin, and when he left. I will walk through the door, and I don't really speak to my mother so much anymore. Like I guess I never really did. We never really had a strong connection, but I know that I'd like to get in there and get out, and if I don't see her, then that would be okay with me.
Okay. So you reach out. You've come quite a long way over to your home here. Sort of see the door of the house sprawling up that dirt road. You go on to like reach for that handle, and you just like take a second to just let that moment sink in. Thinking, is my mother gonna be in there? Okay, just get in, get out. And you just like take that moment, turn the knob, open it up. The familiar smells wafting in. There's some cooking going on, making some sort of roast. Like you see some plates laid out on a sort of living room table. There's a bit of vapor coming out through the front door. It's very warm inside, and you can hear sort of some dishes being battered about a little bit as your mom seems to be just making some food to her in the kitchen over to the right. Completely up to you if you wanted to announce yourself or just kind of go up to where your room is, grab your stuff, and head out. Completely up to you.
I walk in and I hear all this and these familiar smells, and it's as if life is just going on normal. And I hesitate for a moment. And then, knowing that there's no way that my mom won't notice me, I'm just going to go up to my old room, get some of my valuables, and start to collect them. Just what I need.
Okay.
Nothing more.
You kind of take a second, open up the door. Heavy footfalls of your boots goes through the living room, making a pretty good heavy footfall after you go up the stairs. Again, if you get like the corner of your eye, you notice as your mother is kind of, finishing the last of her meal, you hear a head kind of pop up, or see a head pop up, like a little bit of a tilt, kind of acknowledging that they probably see you at the corner of their eye. Just hear a sort of a heavy sigh as they kind of just go back to what they were doing. And as you kind of go back up the stairs, it's just this eerie tension. It's been a while since you've seen each other, but maybe one person hasn't reached out to the other in quite some time, and it's just a little awkward. But you're just trying to avoid the confrontation and go up to your room, start gathering the things that you need for the next leg of your journey. And then you also to hear those same footsteps coming up. Just a little rattle on the door.
Just a second. At this point, I'm sitting on my old bed, and I'm finishing reading the letter that I didn't finish reading until this moment, the letter announcing his death and the details to his funeral. And I fold that note up and I hide it inside a pocket. Take a deep breath and go up to the door and open it and face my mother.
Open it up. Mother's just standing there, not wearing an apron or anything, just in very casual, clean clothes, long flowing hair. It's got a couple of knots kind of tied at the back that kind of flow down. Very elegant. Looks very proper. Nothing's really out of place. Nothing's very disheveled. Kind of standing, very straight posture. So, didn't figure to give me any sign you were coming home?
I wasn't expecting to come back like this, but I have somewhere I need to be. You won't have to deal with me for very long, don't worry.
I see. So, not staying?
No. Did you hear the news? Did you get a letter?
No. What letter?
Ispen has died. No one bothered to send you a letter? Ispen is dead.
Oh my word. How did it happen?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that you should know, even if I did know. I thought you were close. You didn't get a letter, huh?
Been busy around the household. This doesn't really keep to itself, I only have me around here to keep things clean, to keep the house in order, things sometimes slip by, it's not, maybe I had received it, but...
Mom! Stop. Everything you do around here is just a distraction. It's all pretend playing. Playing house, playing the dutiful wife, the caring mother. I know none of that's true. I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago, and I'm gonna live for good this time. And I'm sorry if that hurts you, but I honestly don't know if it does. I know I've always been some sort of a disappointment to you. So I'll relieve you of the burden of having to pretend with me. And I start to move past her.
Just kind of move past, start to make your way down the steps. She kind of just stands there, not really sure how to react at first.
I
You
get
might
down.
come back. You don't know that.
Mom. He's not coming back. He's either dead or he left because he doesn't want to be here anymore. The more you hold on to that, the more stuck you're going to continue to be. And I get to the door, I put my hand on the door handle and take a moment and look over my shoulder to the house that I grew up in. And I remember the family that I thought I had and being a kid and seeing my parents together. I do remember you happy once, Mom. It was a long time ago, but I do remember it. I hope you find your way there again. And I leave.
As you slam the door, the echo just rings true inside the house and just rings true inside your mind, putting on this definite period on this conversation and this strange relationship that's accrued between you and your mom. You take a second to pause as you slam the door. Big breath in, breath out. You start moving forward down the dirt road, past the shrubs that align it, into the open way towards your next location, the city of Calamine. As you go down this open pathway, you start to rise up from that camera panning over to a new location, where we're going to focus now on Strigid. So Strigid, what are you doing in this exact moment?
Strigid is always in the woods. That's where I live. That's where I keep away from people. And I think people generally leave me alone. They think I'm some sort of abomination, some sort of mutant. I'm different than everyone else. Half human, part bird. And I don't like the sun very much. This part of the day finds me... Well, let's see. What time of day is it?
Here, it's pretty good early in the morning. Like, the sun's already kind of risen. It's past sort of sunrise. You're getting into like the 8, 9 sort of era. The day is just starting to start. Birds are chirping. The sun's pretty much out. It's not cloudy or raining or anything like that.
Strigid's childhood home used to be a normal house, and now it looks somewhat like a house from the outside, but there's just thatching everywhere. There's branches growing out of the windows. It's quite wild looking. I don't care to take care of it anymore. And at this time of day, I'm sleeping. I've been up all night hunting.
And in your home too, is there anyone nearby? Is it a pretty like solitary existence of where you found this, or are you in a sprawling village?
I am in a solitary house in the woods. I was raised here by my human mother. She told me that I was a normal little girl when I was quite small. And then I started to change and become more owl-like with every passing day. During that time, my father came and visited. It turned out he was also a shifter, as they call it. And he taught me how to hunt, how to be part of the night. And many things happened. I developed some powers. For a time, I thought I'd become one of the sorcerers that attuned to the moon, but I gave that up. Even though I was in a village with people for quite a few years, when it came time to do my test when I was 25, I decided I didn't care for it, I didn't care for society, and I returned home. So I live here by myself, and sometimes I used to have a visitor. The visitor was Ispen. but I haven't heard from him in many years.
As you're just starting to figure out what you're going to do for the day, might go for a hunt, maybe a stroll through the woods, seeing what form kind of fits your mood for that day, you start to hear the clopping of horse hooves going through this wooded area. You see this young, squire-looking boy on his horse, not fully armored. You can tell that they're probably an apprentice of some kind. They don't have like a full breastplate on, but maybe just like a really good like forearm piece. Nice looking clothes though. They're wearing like a bit of a cloak, similar to this, fur on the top, black on the back. A very nice white cotton shirt, strings hanging down from the center. Nice filigree of a silver stitching, lining, making sort of like thorns and vines through it all. Have a big long sword attached to their belt. Get off on the ground. You can hear the crunching of the leather boot against the dirt. Looks kind of confused. Like, doesn't really know who he's looking for. Maybe it was just given like an area to like try to find somebody, and he's just walking through, has a scroll in hand. Hello? Is anyone here?
I sort of pull a curtain back a little bit and just stick one eye out the window.
I come with a message from the Knight of Salamnia, Beckland. I'm here and they just seem very nervous, and like maybe this is like the first job they've been on, kind of like a temp job at like an agency. They go through a little scroll on their side pouch. I'm here to look for Strigid.
I open the window a little bit. Strigid! Leave it. On the ground.
They just look up, and all they just see is just like leaves and trees. It's just like an ominous voice just coming out of nowhere. I was directed to give it to you personally.
I open the door to my house, so what looked like probably a hill to him, just suddenly there's like a bunch of like dirt falls off of it, and then the door opens.
What?
Give it. I use mage hands and I go grab it.
Oh! Okay then.
Is that all?
Yes. Unless there's something you'd like me to take back to Sir Beckland.
Oh. Beckland. One of Ispin's friends. Stay there.
Do you know?
I open the scroll.
So the letter, as you unfurl said scroll, reads, Dear friend, I am Beckland Uth Vaharan. I've heard much about you and from our mutual friend, Ispin Greenshield. It grieves me to share the news that our dear friend Ispin passed away peacefully here at his home in Vogler. May fortune and the old gods protect his soul. Ispin's friends are holding a memorial for him in the manner he always wanted. It will take place in the city of Kalaman on the eve of the Celebration of Life festival that we are honoring him with. I write to ask you to do Ispin one last honor and attend. Should you come, accommodations will be available for you at the castle itself. Though the circumstances are sad, I am eager to meet you and through our memories to revel in the life of our great friend. Signed, Beckland Uth Vaharan, Knight of the Crown.
Message delivered. I don't have any money to pay you with.
Oh, no.
That's what you're waiting for.
No money. No, there's no exchange here. Just was told to do a service, to hand it to you personally, and I've done so. And he just kind of looks around, and it's just like, this whole environment is just a little strange to him, and he's like, and looks at you for a minute, and is just a little confused at your presence. It's just something he's never really seen before. And, yes, well, see you at the castle.
Did you deliver a letter like this to the Alaras?
You You know the Alara?
I did it one time. Is that a yes or a no?
It's a yes. It's a yes. Yes. Nope. Yep. Definitely yes. Yeah, we did deliver one to Mr. Velzin, Alara.
Okay. Good. Great. Thank you. Message received. Go.
Oh, yeah. And just like starts to shuffle off on their horse out of the woodland areas. As the camera passes off you, up past the hillsides, we go over to Felix, Clubfoot, Chance.
Felix Clubfoot Chance is a Harangon, standing about 5 foot 5 inches. That's about 165 centimeters for the rest of the world, with salt and pepper fur. Felix is a rogue in every sense of the word. He doesn't hide it. He sees no need for it. It's just who he is. Black leather armor, daggers lining the belt, brown leather eye patch covering his left eye. And he has a smirk that just oozes just slyness and mischievousness. Felix is an arcane trickster, utilizing his skills in both magic and misdirection. His one goal in life is to become the world's most infamous Reconditus Skeletus. It's an arcane criminal for those who don't need a Latin translation. In a random greasy spoon tavern called the Sticky Piglet, Felix, I feel like I find himself sitting at a table playing a gambling dice game, whatever the rules are this time, I'm not sure, but with some other motley crew of looking patrons of all various shapes and sizes and smells. I'm leaning back on a barrel seat and stretching my arms above my head, just... Oh, Lady Luck. Fickle mistress she is. Seems she desires for me to be left in her good graces, as you know. How about another round? Yes, triple or nothing. What you say?
All right, Felix, but the last time you tried this, you had a little bit of extra dice up your sleeve, and it didn't end too well for everybody.
I will roll up my sleeves and show you there's nothing to hide except fur. That's a burn scar. Don't touch that. You might get infected. But how about this? For all of your gold pieces, and I know you have a platinum piece under there.
Wait, how'd you know that?
Put it there. How about this? I pull out one of my daggers, stab it into the table, and what I'm gonna do is I'd like to cast Distort Value on this dagger to make it look even more just like slightly glowing, and it has like it like radiates some kind of like yellow, but pulsing between like a yellow and blue kind of like aura. So I'm gonna cast Distort Value on this dagger and be like, this right here is the dagger of magic. Yes. As you can see, it has not one
magic,
color, but two. As you can see, it is also worth just as much, if not triple, I dare say quadruple, but I'm a fair Harangon, as you know. It is worth very much for one more roll of the dice. What say you? One more.
And you look through this very hulking orc-like humanoid, bit of an eye patch over one eye, big mohawk around the front to back, scars all over, a little bit of light leather armor as a breastplate, and a bit of a metal chainmail on each arm. They look a little armed to the teeth. They got a horizon back turtle next to them, also looking a bit disheveled, giant scar over their eye. Next on the other side, we have a hobgoblin. Also standing there, a little short, stout. Everyone's got little piles of gold here and there, but they're slowly been dwindling over this dice game that you keep playing. You keep they keep asking you, like, let's play this game, and you play for a second, like, how about this game? And you make it sound way better than the game that they were playing, that you're also seem to be pretty good at and keep getting little bits of gold. Then you present this to them. Make a deception check at advantage, because that is some very awesome descriptions there.
Deception at advantage. Alrighty. That advantage would definitely be needed here. Advantage, you lady luck, you fickle mistress. It's a solid 13.
Solid 13. Okay. Let's see how the people in the room do. Okay. So they look at you and they're like, how magical are we talking here? Like, on a scale of 1 to 15.
It's a dagger. It's like a solid 7.
That's pretty good. That's like almost in the middle.
I'll grab the dice before they can kind of even decide. All right, put your money in. Gold and platinum in there. I saw that nice watch in there, too. Come on, be fair, fair.
All right, there you go. Nice gold
So
watch right in there.
In the pile, well, we can see it. We're all fair and gentlemanly like. Yes.
All right, and they all just start to pile in little pots here and there into the middle.
And then, I guess I'll go ahead and roll the dice, see what I get. I'm rolling 2d6s. I rolled a 4 and a 2, so I rolled a 6.
Okay.
All right, your turn.
1 rolls a 3 and a 5. 2 and a 6. 6 and a 4.
Oh.
Well, would you look at that? Must be a lucky day.
Yes. I will say, though, don't touch the dagger right away. It has a habit of... It's an electrical dagger. You know, sparks.
Is that why it's all shiny like and it's got weird little coloration?
Exactly. You have to have fur and whatnot because it insulates and stuff or something. So just be careful not to touch it. And,
the orc looks over to the horizon back turtle, who's like got this massive spiked shell, bit of a beak, rough, leathery skin. The head's kind of like inundated into the shell at this point, and then just...
I give him like a solid, like with a one eye.
Me.
I give him like a solid, like a wink with the one eye, just like very much like it's for real. Just for good measure, I want to flick a gold coin in the center, and I want to cast Jim's glowing coin on the gold coin.
Acquisitions Incorporated in the house. Okay.
It is a wisdom save of everybody at this table has to make a wisdom save of 14 or be distracted for 1 minute by this coin.
Well, hot diggity dog, we doing it. Okay. I wish I had a camera that I could just be like. Okay. So, the wisdom modifiers are 0 for these guys.
Perfect.
But I rolled a 17,
Oh, good number.
a 15,
Oh, come on.
and an 8.
Okay, so
I'm gonna, judging on that, and me knowing how these unsavory people operate, I'm gonna roll some intelligence checks. So 2, and a 13. So, you say this.
total smart.
You say this. The hobgoblin and the turtle that are kind of like invested, they're like these shining cold coins. But as it like spins up in the air, kind of like a TV that's like losing its signal, like the radiance of it kind of like it just like the lights are turning off and on in a weird way that magic's not really supposed to work. And they gotta catch it for a glimpse. They're like, that's odd. And the orc is like, oh, no, that is some good stuff right there. That will go It just starts to lean over in the horizon turtle and the hobgoblin. I'm like, oh, wait.
Instantly, when they start like kind of going to him, and he's like looking at the thing, I want to grab his watch and dart.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
That's a natural 1.
Okay, so surprisingly, hobgoblin, little bit on the smaller side, has like a orange hue to their skin. Surprisingly, has both his eyes kind of cut, has like giant X's on his eyes, but can hear sounds fairly well. Has a bit of an open chest, just has boots and a bit of a battle skirt. wearing kind of like a fur sort of shawl over their head, long flowing black hair. The horizon back turtle, armed to the teeth, has like a battle axe going off of their leather belt, and isn't wearing like too much in the way of clothes, has a bit of like a tunic kind of raiding down, but muscly and big. But all of his gestures have been fairly slow to this point, like raising his head in, going his head out, reaching for things. But as soon as you dart, he just grabs you very scarily fast out of nowhere. And it's just like, where do you think you're going? And his beak is just like, just snapping a little bit. As your face is getting closer and closer to the beak, the door in the tavern opens up. The same squire that Strigid saw. Hello? Oh my God. Just like if there was a record that could just stop. Anyone who's playing music inside, everyone just stopped what they're doing and all just like looked over to the front of the door and he's, excuse me, sorry, I'm here. I need to speak to a Mr. Felix Clubfoot. Chance?
No, that's me. Over here. What took you so long, friend? What took you so long? Come over here.
The turtle is just like holding you up higher, so your little rabbit feet are just like holding up against the ground. It's like, oh.
My clubfoot falls off, so like what you'll see, like if Felix is lifted high enough, his right leg, which is like kind of lopped off at the knee, it has a fake boot on there, and it just, poof, the boot just falls to the floor.
Oh.
Now you've done it. You boy, get it. Come here.
Oh, yes. And everyone's just like walking him because there's some certain insignia, some certain iconography on his outfit that does suggest he is a part of a knight order. So everyone's just like, oh, there's a young cop in here. Everyone act cool. No one's like doing anything too quickly, but everyone knows like all these unsavory people are like looking at each other like, should we get him? Nah, let's play out for a minute. And as he just kind of walks through the bar area, there's just big, huge, burly people of all different races and sizes and genders. It's like, excuse me, it's just over. Yeah, okay, go. Just, no one's moving out of his way. They're all just like standing there and just watching him move by. And he gets to you, Mr. Felix. I have a letter for you. It is from Sir Becklin of the Knights of Salamnia. You have been beckoned for a special event. Do you mind just putting him down a little bit? And the horizon back turtle drops you on the ground.
And I'm like on my butt, putting my boot back on my leg. Manners. Tell you what, never judge a turtle by a shell. Yes. Now, boy, what is this? I have been summoned because I am needed, wanted, desired. Who's Becklin?
Becklin is a knight of the Salamnia, and they have requested your presence for a special event.
You hear that, everyone? And I take the letter. I have been beckoned by Beckmen by the Knights of Salami to do it. As I open it up, and
Becklin.
I see Ispin Greenshield's name on that. I look at the squire. I look back at the letter. Oh, for goodness! And just go ahead and just like, you've got to be kidding me! And Felix just starts to tirade and just yell and scream and just kind of like, it almost looks a bit like he's putting it on, but even more so like above that. And he's just kind of like trying to intimidate those around him to kind of back off. So he's like swinging wildly. I can't believe he would do this. Can he even, what?
Calm down. No, just
kind of like,
it's fine. Just
as I'm doing this, kind of trying to get my way out of the circle from the table and away and out the door.
Yeah, so the squire kind of follows you out the door of the tavern as like this Mos Eisley cantina of just like criminals just
Can I make a
following
sleight
your
of hand check
presence.
to try to grab my dagger again before I leave?
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
I hate this dice. 15.
Yeah, you're good. You got it.
Okay.
As they're all kind of like more indebted, as you go, oh, what? Like you do this sort of almost like a magician's trick where you're like being very bombastic and shouting and raising your hands everywhere, but as you're kind of moving, kind of just pick it up and put it in a side pocket so they're not able to see. And the squire's just like, all right, thanks. Go about your business, everyone. And as soon as he like closes the tavern door behind him, a dagger just like wobbles there at the other end of the door. As we then fade away from that whole situation, over to Tyran. So as we get out of the seedy underbelly of the criminal underworld, we go over to what Tyran is doing. So Tyran, would you like to describe what your character is looking like and what they are up to right now?
Well, Tyran Iron Skull is 4'5" and 210 pounds, fairly muscly. Got sandy blonde beard, it's braided, well kept. He's got a nice little short war ponytail. Some distinguishing feature he has is he's got a scar and discoloration on his skull, which is a little bit related to how his story is. He was he was found by Ispin at the bottom of a rock slide. He was heavily injured. There were a lot of rubble around, some remnants of an ogre. But it was near a mining town that he was discovered. So he found him, couldn't get any information, just mumbling. Tyran couldn't give any intelligible responses to any queries or anything like that. So his head was caved in and very injured. So he brought him to a near town of Vulgar, brought him to a healer, and the healer looked at Tyran and was just dumbfounded. How is this dwarf still alive? Just through the cave-in of his skull. And he's like, well, let's see what we can do. So being the little kind of eccentric healer, he grabs a pan and hammers it out in the forge and slips it under his skull, sews and ties it up. So now he's got an iron plate in his skull. And as he recovered, Tyran was unable to remember anything before that event, and it appeared that he was almost talking to himself and arguing with himself and very frustrated and very just very angry. And the healer thought this was just like a symptom of his injury. Like he's talking to himself and not making any sense. He's like, this dwarf will be lost. Like he's lost. But Ispin was patient and kind and decided to take him kind of under his wing to rehabilitate him. And so he did. He had the patience, and he learned after a while that Tyran wasn't actually talking to himself. He was talking to two spirits that were in his head. And these are friends of his that he learned. One friend is Kaz, kind of a stoic dwarf fighter that was with Tyran when that accident happened. And he would fight with two morning stars. Stoic, he was like the voice of reason. And the other spirit was Lauren, who was drunken, just ridiculous rogue. He would leave things to chance by casting his runes, and he would just make ridiculous decisions. So these are the voices in his head. So initially when Tyran would hear this, he would argue with them. It'd get him flustered. But as Ispin worked with him, he was able to discern that these were his friends and they were trying to help him, but Tyran couldn't quite understand. So Ispin helped him understand, and he learned that Tyran was actually this very warm, kind of overly heartfelt dwarf that led by his heart. He wasn't very smart, but he would catch he would catch things, like see things, and he wouldn't let things slip by. But so after a while in Vulgar, Tyran got and joined the local guard and was helping the town with raiders and thieves and things like that. And then one day, general from the Knights of Solamnia met with him, General Galahad, and he proposed to him. He's like, you seem like your talents and skills would be better served the whole of Kryn rather than just this town of Vulgar. So Tyran joined the Knights, and he's in training, and that was about a year ago to where we are now, where he's currently in like a training pit, doing like hand-to-hand combat, and this is where he gets the message.
Yeah.
He's training with another guy. Yeah.
Over from that, as we transition over from the CD Tavern, we start to transition as the camera pans over to the mighty region of Solamnia, where your order resides, into like a shining sort of beacon of a city, very regal, rich with history. Knights of Solamnia have been a part of the world of Kryn for thousands of years. They were ignited in an age that dates back very, very long time ago. And there are some histories of the world that the Knights have records for, histories of. Whether some of those you've been party to at this point are still a bit up for debate. But as we zoom in through the Knights of Solamnia and we go through the various sprawling markets and go through the shining silvered buildings, through a stained glass window into a padded training room where we see Tyran, this sort of stout, stocky dwarf, starting to circle around. Your breastplate, your armor has been put to the side. And, sorry, the general's name again?
Galahad.
Galahad. Yeah. As Galahad is also just circling around you, who is this other, like, very big, muscular bear of a person. Big, like, he's just shirtless, a couple scars, got a bit of a bleeding lip over here. You've got a couple of bruises on your arms as well. He's like, all right, Tyran, don't go easy on me this time.
And he's like, Tyran starts to go, and he hears a voice of Lauren be like, You can take him. You've got him. You can take him. And Tyran's just standing there. He's like, shut up. So he goes in.
Now, like I said, training. Focus. Clear your mind.
That's a good instruction, my friend. Okay. So this is where Tyran. So Galahad is a man, bear of a man. He's much taller. He goes in to strike the inner side of the knee with like a right cross, just take out that stable base of Galahad.
All right, roll attack roll.
What do I roll?
Roll your d20 and add your strength modifier plus your proficiency.
Oh, goodness.
First roll.
Yeah, first roll. I got a 19.
Oh!
Plus what?
So you'll be your strength and your proficiency mod. So whatever that little plus box above your strength is.
Yeah.
It's that plus whatever the proficiency box is. So it might be like a +5 or something like that altogether.
+3. So 19 plus 3?
Yeah. That's good. That's 22.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, you go in there and he's like, all right, don't go easy on me. Lunges for you. Just like go down on one leg, just crack, just like a right hook right on the knee. Oh, God. Oh. I know, that's going easy. Oh, Jesus. And just like breathing in pain. Like, this is a sparring match.
This is where Kaz chimes in. Tyran, that is your superior. You need to stay calm. You have to tone it down a bit. And Tyran just goes, just laughs. And at this point, he reaches down to pick up Galahad, pick him up and hoist him up back to his feet to get ready for round 2. So as we're getting ready to grapple again, he goes to strike again, but this is when Messenger comes in, and
so you're about to like wreathe back another right hook. You're like, and you're like, sorry. It's been a long day. Excuse me, sorry, Galahad, Tyran. I don't mean to disturb you in your training. I have a message from another fellow knight, Becklin. They've come to request your presence, Tyran, for a friend's event in Calaman City. Blah, blah, blah. It's in the letter. You'll get it. I need to rest, okay? Here you go. All right.
Turns.
Oh, God. Horse's back. It's just, God. Yeah. Just like stables off as the scroll is just kind of dumped down on the ground. As you go over to read it, start to unfurl it. Same message basically applying to you that your friend Ispin Greenshield has passed on. They're having a celebration of life for him in the castle of Calaman, as he was a very avid advocate for the realm and helped them in many adventures and with the local military, and lots of communities wanted to celebrate his passing. So you kind of get that and you're kind of reading it over. Galahad comes over. What's it say?
And as Tyran looks it over, he feels this pain of loss that he's felt before, and it kind of sinks in, and it takes him a second to kind of realize that he's being talked to, and it just kind of snaps. He's like, "Oh, my old friend Ispin, he's passed away." And he just sighs to himself and starts to get emotional, kind of like feeling the loss a little bit more deeply than he should. That makes sense, because he's felt loss before. He lost his friends in that rock slide, and so it just takes him a second to kind of gather himself and gather his thoughts.
Okay. So you're kind of sitting there, he's like, "Wherever you need to go, Tyran, you have my permission to go."
And he just sits there and it's like, I joined you because I wanted to help the people of Kryn. I wanted to find out what happened to me. I can't remember. And Ispin, he told me to move on. And my friends that you can't see, my friends, they told me to move on too, but I have to know. I have to know what happened. And then this is where like Kaz, the voice of reason, comes in. He's like, Tyran, he's more than a friend. He helped you when everyone else thought you had gone mad. You must go back and pay your respects. And Lauren on this side agrees. He's like, yes, Tyran, you need to go back. He was a funny man, but you have to go pay your respects. So then Tyran comes back. He's like, okay, yes, I will go back.
So as you go and gather, put on your knightly armor, your Order of the Sword, battle armor, the shining breastplate gleaming as you go outside and the sun shining off of it. And then Galahad is like, oh wait, you might want this. And hands you your massive battle hammer on two hands, hands it to you.
He takes it. Oh, yes. My hammer. I've had many battles with this. I will need this. He hoists it and straps it to his back. And then
very sturdy, very muscular donkey with a very particular saddle starts to wand in, but it's like buff, like it's like hindquarters are just like massive, like it's just been pumping iron at the gym for like months on end. It has to be able to hold your weight and all of your heavy armor and everything. You've got like a cool like metal headdress on it that kind of goes from the snout all the way to the front. Just go almost mimicking your hammer like catchphrase.
I see you've been training as hard as I have. So he tries to hoist himself up, takes a second, struggles. Doesn't quite make it. Third time's a charm. Pops up, jumps his legs, swings over, almost goes over the other side. All right. Okay. Good catch, my friend. And they can just hear Lauren laughing in the back of his head.
All right. So as you head off on your armored donkey, we're going to pan over to our in-studio players here.
Muscular donkey got me.
Wayreth, what are, pray tell, you doing as this letter comes here?
Wayreth, who stands at the towering height of 4'9" and is about 180 pounds, not quite as big as Tyran. Very broad-shouldered, barrel-chested, looking similar to this, but a little more elaborate, where the fabrics of his tunic appear to be woven from the leaves and bark and fungus somehow intermingled, and that is what it is. He wears a big red fur as a cape. He has long black hair, or chestnut brown with gray in it, and has a huge bushy beard that's gathered into three sort of not braids. These are just trying to rustle something for being to here, just trying to keep it in check. And he has massive pupils with silver rings around the outside. His pupils seem inky black, but if you stare at them long enough, you see the twinkle of starlight within his eyes. And he has huge, bushy, silver eyebrows that always seem to be dancing. One is always up, and one is always down. He is in a meadow in the middle of Wayreth Forest, and it is his namesake. He is a hermit who lives within the forest and protects it, and worships the god Chislev, the goddess of nature.
All right. Is Wayreth doing any activity right now?
Yes, he is working on, there's a massive installation that seems that there's no one else around, just this one little dwarf, and there are stone monoliths and a pattern that are actually aligned with different constellations. And he is just working on one and actually getting vines to grow up around it and just... yes. What else? What would be... And he rustles into his pouch and he pulls out some seeds and he sprinkles them around the base of the stone and just starts to wave his hands about it, and the seeds just sprout. And it's all just different multicolors of flowers. A lovely touch, yes. Now, what would honor them?
As you are thinking that thought, you hear the crunching of boots against twigs, mud. It's kind of like a glopping sound with crunching sounds. And if we look at the camera pan of just really thick, mudded boots trying to reach you in this very sort of foresty, jungle, swampy kind of terrain where you're doing all these work, these monoliths. Once again, our squire friend. There's squirrels and little bits of chipmunks and various birds trailing on their head. There's bird poop on their outfit now, just covered in dirt. They've been just scrolling around trying to find you. Is this Wayreth?
Wayreth!
Yeah.
That's me.
Hi, I've got a scroll for you. There's an event, blah, blah, blah. It's been go. There, I found you. Be there, be square, Night City of Calaman. Yes, you may open it if you wish.
I don't...
Why is everyone so hard to find in this place? And just so fed up. So his mood completely changed from the start of him trying to find all these very eclectic people that live in all these various parts of Ansalon. Saying the same thing, being able to, with a hard seal, that's very hard to unfurl.
Very difficult. I'm ripping the crap out of it.
Have magic!
Oh.
For the audience at home, the letter actually has everything written on it in great calligraphy from our amazing prop department.
Since you've already read it, I won't read it.
Yes, of course, I read it, but it's an event out in Castle Calaman. Be there by tonight. It's gonna be great, I guess. I don't know. I don't even care. I don't even
Tonight?
get to be there.
Wait,
Yeah, so what it might be tonight. Rito, bye! And just like runs off
good luck.
onto the next one. And as you're kind of scrolling it over, how do you react?
Oh, Ispin. Nova. Nova.
It's my owl friend.
Yeah. Other wings go and sit down on a nearby perch.
It would seem that our friend Ispin Greenshield has passed from this life. They have requested. You met Ispin.
Ooh.
What? Really? No, you remember me. Come on.
Ooh.
Green shield. We made him a shield.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Right. So I have to go. But you should stay here and guard this place.
Ooh.
Are you going to stay this time? Well,
Kind of looking to you for like some sort of like offering, like maybe like a mouse or a rodent or something, just like.
I mean, I don't. Oh, I do. All right. This might be dangerous. So you are going to stay here and guard the forest.
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't believe you.
Just snaps at it.
All right. Hopefully I'll be back soon, but I've been requested, so I must go.
Ooh. Just starts to circle up and just starts to do a little bit of turning and circling around.
He's just gonna follow me.
And as you start to like move out of the monolith, the circling just starts to just trail you as you're leaving.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna head out of the forest toward Vogler, right? That's where we're going. No, Calaman.
Calaman.
It's in Calaman.
It's in Calaman.
Oh, that's a really long way. I might get to go on a boat. Oh! Yes.
All right, so you get very excited, you get ready, grabbing up all your things, all of your druidic compartments and ingredients and everything, and essentials and dirt and leaves and things. Gonna go up from the muddy terrain of your home to our last player here at the table. Last but certainly not least,
Tango. Tango, as a gnome, she's in Mount Nevermind, where there is a whole bunch of other gnomes, and they are making tons of crazy inventions, and most of them don't work. But that is sort of what it means to be a gnome. You know, you gotta you let it explode, and then you rebuild. You rebuild it.
Yes.
She's gonna be. I am so sorry to this messenger, but she's gonna be at the tippy top of a tallest tower, and it's just got a bunch of stairs just going all the way around the outside.
Okay, I got a bit for this. Got a bit for this. Okay.
Yeah. So
Continue.
she is
Continue.
3'3", and she weighs. Don't worry about it. And
Yeah.
she's white hair because she's in her 140s, and her hair's starting to go gray, silver, white, kind of early. But there's still a couple of streaks of orange in it, like it used to be. And she's, of course, wrapped around her neck is her steel defender as an artificer. She's a battlesmith, and his name's Rivet. And so he's just hanging out around her shoulder because she's also spending a bunch of time talking to GP, who's this other gnome, and she's got him strapped to a contraption, and it's gonna fly, but she needs to light it on fire. So she's just kind of, buckling the last buckles and the last pieces. But don't worry, GP. We tested this 5-6 times already with a bunch of melons, and almost every one of those melons, there's a whole big parachute's gonna come out, and you're gonna make it. And I think you're gonna set probably at least the best melon distance record, because you weigh slightly more than the last melon, and I'm pretty sure I took all of that into. I weighed you. I weighed the last melon that did make it, and I think this is gonna work. So if you just stand by, Rivet and I are gonna make sure we can light you up. And wait, 1 second, GP. Hey, buddy. I'm about to start some fireworks. There's gonna be a big explosion. Sorry, GP, it's gonna be a medium-sized explosion. Just a little bit. It's kind of dangerous up here. I got air wind speeds that are really important. We gotta go.
I have
Stand by, GP.
a message
Yeah.
from Brooklyn. The night is slummy.
Yep. She's got like gadgets going because she's worried that the wind is
Been
gonna change.
requested celebration, Cowman. Why so high?
What?
How did you even get this up here? It's a catapult.
Yeah, it's more of a gnome-apult. See, we're gonna GP, you're gonna be the first gnome
Right?
to fly under your own power, just explosion-powered gnome,
Strapped in, ready to go.
right?
Ninth test is the best one, I heard.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Let me just and she's gonna try to like unfurl the letter and read a little bit, and she's like, oh no.
But
Oh, at
What
the same time that she's grieving, she's just gonna start the firework up. Just
wait,
start-
no, you got the character standing by, right? Because the last time I broke my legs, but they could heal me.
Yeah,
but like,
GP,
did you call the?
Oh, this is gonna be one of those days. It's a real roller coaster. GP's looking to just, I don't know, Rivet. I think we were supposed to do something else. This is awful news. Do you remember? Oh, Espen, we've done so many fun adventures together. Oh.
That didn't look like a very good landing.
Oh, did the parachute go? Did you see Oh, there is no. Ooh. You know what? I think maybe your letter says it's really important to just go right now. Let's just go. Yep. He's fine. GP's fine. There's clerics around.
I have a faster way down.
Oh, do I?
That's
And
our
from
third
there,
JP of the week.
We're gonna cut a hard cut as we fast forward over the next few days as our heroes make their own various traveling ways to the city of Calaman. By this point, it is around probably like recent nightfall. The sun is just starting to set and move behind the mountains. Many people are arriving by boat, wagon, horse, muscly donkey, however way of travel you prefer. But the city itself is bustling. It is a very large metropolitan bustle of society. The castle of Calaman sitting perfectly neat, slap dab in the middle, that has its own various histories and has been around for, God, like maybe even since before the Cataclysm event. It's hard to say. But there is a very large, sprawling ocean, seaside visage as various ships and boats are starting to come into the docks. Many peoples are starting to come in droves. Some might have come for this celebration of life itself. Others just coming to the city, kind of like, the last ferry of the night shift. Many people coming up. Maybe they're working outside of the city. So you're seeing like lots of different types of faces. Some like maybe on the more adventurous side. Some maybe are like blacksmiths and workers and merchants of that type. Few wagons are crunching against the roaded, the dirt roads as they start to make their way through the center. And there's lots of people in the streets. There's some people drinking, a little bit of partying. You're starting to see, like in the night sky, little trickles of fireworks as they. And various people are starting to move towards into sort of the market region that sits kind of nestled directly beside the castle walls itself. And as your party is sort of arriving in various areas, I'll leave it up to you if maybe you clock each other walking down the street. If maybe the couple of you arrive maybe on a boat together. We'll start with Louise, Velzin. Does Velzin meet anyone from our adventuring party on the way over, or were they more solitary?
I mean, I think Velzin has the sense of urgency because he received the letter later. And so he's been rushing here on whatever is the fastest way, I imagine horseback probably, and is probably just arriving. Kind of tunnel vision, focus to get to wherever the letter instructs him to go. But he can't help but marvel at the city that's before him, this large city that feels so old and that's lasted through so much, and still a young man and still a little green. He does take a few moments to marvel at the people that he sees and the bustling city and the structures, and for a moment feels suddenly like a small town boy in a bigger city, but keeps moving forward with that sense of urgency. If I see Strigid, if Strigid is around, I might clock her.
Yeah, so you're all kind of arriving sort of at the same time here. Some may have come a bit earlier, some a bit later. Lots of things to kind of take into this sort of sprawling cityscape. And Strigid, would you have come by sea, come by the main roads, or just flown here?
I think for maybe the last bit, I'm tired. I'm not used to being up all night and then all day again and then all night again. So I am approaching the city on, I'm trying to be low key. So I've got like my hood on and I'm trying to just just be cool. Because I know when people will stare at me when I come to town because I look, I haven't described my appearance too much yet, but I'm very tall, about 6 feet tall. Very stick thin. I've got owl-like features, very sharp features, so that at first glance I look maybe like a tall humanoid, but then there's just a lot of feather stuff happening. It's not great. So that last little bit, I'm super tired. So I've cast Phantom Steeds, and I again think I'm being low key. Don't remember what human society is like. So I'm on this like ghost horse coming into town, but I have like a hood on, so I'm just like no one can see me. I look very normal. And I think if I'm coming into town at the same time as Velzin, you could probably hear me clomping up behind you. Just go, hey, boy, you're the half-breed boy from the neighbor.
Velzin.
Are you the Alara boy?
He stiffens at first and then kind of slows down his horse and waits for whoever was behind him to pass him, not totally recognizing the voice. And Velzin is like I said earlier, about 5'10", and he's got a light brown skin and long hair in a ponytail in the back. A couple locks of it have kind of found their way out of the ponytail and are sort of hanging down at the front of his face. And he stops, waits for this horse to at least get next to him. I'm sorry, what?
Do you remember me?
How much of your feathers can I see?
I'd take my hood off, and you just see like, this situation.
Immediately, these memories start flashing back to Velzin of when he was a child, and this person that would come and visit on occasion. Are you? You know my parents.
Yes. How are Selena and
my father?
Man one. Yes.
My father, Redmond. He's been gone. He's been missing for quite some time now. But you're here for the funeral, I suppose.
Yes. So sad. It's been.
Yes.
But it's good you're here. Why isn't your mother with you?
She didn't receive a letter. Only I did.
Strange. But I guess in the end, it's been introduced me to you, not to her specifically. Though she's quite lovely.
She's a lot different now than from what you might recall.
Yes, humans change, I guess, when they get older. You're so big now, by the way. You were so small when I knew you.
Velzin face immediately starts to blush at that.
I grab your face and I do that cheek squeeze thing, but it hurts because I've got talons.
Are people? Oh, please! Ow! Can you?
You're so tough now.
I've been trying to, keep that appearance up, and I think people are looking at us right now. Where?
Oh, yes. Do you want to ride on my horse?
Well, I haven't got my own, but. I mean, do you want to trade horses? Is that what you? Ed, I reach out to try to touch this horse. Is it? What's the horse look like? It's a phantom horse.
Yeah, so
It's like-
Phantom
hold on,
Steed is a very fun spell that allows the user to kind of conjure up whatever kind of ride they want to be doing it with. And so I think in the description it can be a horse, but it can pretty much be whatever you want it to be as far as the imagery
It
goes.
says like horse-like.
It could be horse-like, it could be a turkey, it could be whatever you want as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I like that. It's horse/turkey.
Oh.
Turkey in the front or in the back? This is important.
Oh, turkey in the front. Yeah,
Turkey in the
absolutely.
front.
And then weird smooth horse.
Horse in the back? Got it. Okay.
Turkey tour.
So you see this glowing sort of silvery moon effervescent imagery of a behind of a horse with two hooves and the muscular rump and the tail behind. And then it just starts to mold in that same sort of shiny blue imagery into ruffled feathers and a very plump round front and a stocky little head with two little red dangly bits here, a little dangly bit here.
So the horse that I arrived on doesn't belong to me. It's sort of something that I acquired from the guards from a stable, and I'm set to return it to the stable here. So this horse isn't even mine. And I reach out and
let it go.
I touch your horse. Does it? Okay, so are there feathers that kind of sort of slowly become fur?
Yeah, kind of. So like the imagery is just like this translucent sort of blue shining imagery, almost holographic in nature. You go to touch it and like part of your hand there's a bit of a force back, like a magnetic force. So you can't feel textures, but you do see the feathers just start to blend into like what a horse's back would be.
This is completely in awe of this.
You shouldn't get really hung up on the horse thing. It's I couldn't really remember what a horse looked like. It's been a really long time. I feel like the last time I've been out was sort of when I saw you when you were a boy. So it's been like a long time.
Strigid, this is Miss Strigid. I'm so sorry. This is better than a horse. And I jump off of my horse, and I give the horse that I came on a big smack on the butt after I get my belongings off of it. And jump
just, like,
on the back
races
of
down
this.
the cobblestone street, and a bunch of merchants or some like fire throws to the street, and just like "Whoa!" Just like jump out of the way as it just starts to race down into the fervor of the market.
And I'll
Wait,
jump
you've got
on the
like
back of
maybe
this
10
horse.
minutes on this thing, and then I hope we get there by then. So let's just keep going.
Let's hope so. I'll smack the back of it once I'm on to see if that gives it a little bit of giddy up.
As you kind of smack on the forceful sort of force back, starts to go forward, almost like a chocobo-like fashion through the streets. But before you can really get a sort of a bead on going forward, two local guards, knights, Calaman, you're seeing like the flag colors of Calaman, by the way, are like shining blues and whites. There's some guards around that have that coloration on them, and they kind of get in front of your turkey horse steed and go, excuse me, Velzin, Strigid? Is this
Yes.
You are correct.
addressing?
Yes.
Pardon me, we don't mean to interrupt your whereabouts, but if you don't mind, your presence is required inside the Calaman Castle walls. The council would like to speak to you before you proceed to tonight's events.
Why?
They have not told me why. All I know is that the council wishes to speak to you directly inside, pertaining to the man that this event celebrates, Ispin Greenshield.
Yes, but I don't know them, so can I not do that?
I'm gonna lean into Strigid. Strigid, you did, Miss Strigid, I'm so sorry. You did just admit to me that you are a little out of practice with human society. Maybe it's a good idea to not, rub them the wrong way.
So no questions.
Let me ask a few. And you see this man in armor who is a trained guardsman, but suddenly you sort of see this out of place kind of nervous boy. And in a flash of a moment, you see that although he's a man, there are absolutely aspects of him that have not fully matured yet. I'm sorry, sir, but could you at least give us a little information about what the council might require of us? Is this, you said it had to do with Ispin, but we're not, why us?
Make a persuasion.
Oh boy. Okay.
Is it with advantage or disadvantage because of the big turkey horse?
Would you like to help him gain the respect of these people? You turned him off a little bit from an advantage, to be honest. But if you want to try, to give him something
I'll accept a disadvantage if it's warranted.
Yeah, I'll try to help. This is gonna be great.
Oh.
This may cause a disadvantage, just how this goes.
Okay.
But we'll see what she does.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1, so that's great. +4, but depends on
That's
rolls.
the second natural
Okay.
one already in this game.
So Velzin, make your persuasion roll.
Oh, it's gonna be really bad. My persuasion is a -1. Okay, a disadvantage. Oh, not bad. I rolled a 15 and a 19, so it could have been worse. A 14 total.
So the guards just kind of look at you, and kind of like when you're being invited to someone's home and they're like, hey, do you mind taking your shoes off? And you're like, nah, I'm cool. I like to wear them inside houses.
Nice.
And the guards just look at Strigid, look at you. The council members are currently in a meeting discussing very important matters of the realm. And when they call for you to come, it is honorable and respectful that you obey their wishes. All that we know is it has something to do with Ispin Greenshield's disappearance, and they wish to personally talk to allies and friends of his that have come to this event, which apparently are very few. So, if you don't mind, please follow us this way.
Absolutely, sir. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to disrespect the city, the council, or the memory of Ispin. Did you say that Ispin's disappearance? Did I mishear that?
This way.
I break concentration and disappear the turkey horse for now.
I hope to land on my feet and not further humiliate myself as I follow the guards.
All right. So as we break away, as you go into the bustling market events, we then pan over to a wagon, sort of like, let's call what it is. It's like a bus. It's like a transit bus. There's a very large wagon, Concord, coming through into the city of Calaman. Attached on the long side is a long-standing rope with a very muscular donkey with saddles on the side, trotting along. Maybe to give, the donkey a little bit of a break from holding all the heavy things, plus Tyran. Inside the wagon itself, it's, many common folk, people maybe on the lower side of the income range. But for Felix, wanting to spare a couple coin, this was the cheapest way to get there in a way that didn't have to break your bank or have to spend anything nice. And for Tyran, same thing. You want to give your donkey a little bit of, just a little bit of day to relax and not have too much pressure on it. And the two of you are just rolling into the city gates outside. The city castle, obviously, in the middle. So you're just getting past the castle walls and going through all the markets. The two of you notice each other. Very odd pairing here and there, but you've kind of been next to each other for a few hours at this point. So if there's anything you'd like to say to each other while you're in this cart or on the way to castle, or maybe you just want to stay silent and continue further.
Well, if this was kind of like a bus, that means that there was like stops where people got on and off and everything. And so I kind of presumed that Felix might have been on there for a little bit. And it so happened that he was on there when Tyran got on and had the donkey tied up and been going for a while. Felix would go over to Tyran after a while and be like, "Hey, buddy, how much does your donkey bench?"
Well,
I'm just saying, like that's a thick ass. If you know what I mean.
Very thick. Now Tyran would be he's not very smart, but he can tell that Felix is of the unsavory type, and he's in the Night of Solamnia, so he's kind of just keeping his eye, like extra eye, just not like breaking his look at his hands or make sure they're not like trying to reach for anything. And he just kind of gives his training at regiment is a secret of the dwarves.
Oh, of course. I didn't mean no harm, no offense, friend. Whew. Serious bunch here, I tell you what. I look over to the donkey. You keep strutting. I'll sit back down.
Tyran does a little smile, like. He decides to warm up a little bit, kind of break it down, and be like, "So, what brings you this way?"
Oh, we are talking now. Oh, okay. Well, I'm here on very urgent business from the Knights of Salami by Lord Beckman. Very urgent business. I'm a very important person, as you know. But you don't know, but you will know.
You were brought here by the Knights of Solamnia.
Salami, yes.
Not...
Yes, salami, yes.
Okay. On what business?
I'm not at privilege to say, except that it is from this... It used to be an old ex-comrade companion of mine. He's really an idiot, really, honestly. He's been green shield or something.
Tyran goes, "He was not an idiot."
Stop! You knew Ispin?
He was like a brother to me.
Oh.
He gets all.
You both like
he gets a little defensive back into it.
I can see that the resemblance. Yes, yeah. Both of you with this high and mighty self-righteous kind of attitude. Doesn't fall too far from the street, does it?
And then a little voice pops in and said, "What would Ispin do with a rabbit?" Shut up, Lauren.
I said nothing warranted of a shut up. Excuse me? And it is Felix. Who are you talking to?
Nobody. So you're on the urgent business of the Knights of Solamnia because you were associated with Ispin in...
Unfortunately.
In what? Why would that bring you here?
But apparently they need my skills for something extremely... Wait, are you here for the same thing?
Yes.
And as you guys are having this conversation, the driver up the front says, "City of Calaman, right around the corner." And as you kind of look out, sort of push back the garments covering the wagon, again, the sunset's just kind of bleeding into that like really rich orange red in coloration. And you're seeing the symbol of the city, the age-old fortress right in the center, rising atop the rugged cliffs, visible from like anywhere within the city walls or from miles beyond. And you're starting to hear now the sounds of the fireworks and the bustling of the people involved and the revelry and everyone having a good time.
Well, this seems like a party. He must have been well known.
Of course, he couldn't even die quiet.
Yeah, but what's your tone?
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean no offense.
Then all of a sudden, as you say that, the whole cart just comes to a sudden halt as everyone just barrels forward people's items and trinkets.
While that happens, can I try to steal something from somebody?
Oh, Jesus. Sleight of hand. Let's go.
Ooh, 17 plus 9.
Can I roll against that?
wow.
Like if I'm trying to keep my eye on him.
Yes,
I have, like,
actually.
expertise in
So
sleight of hand and
roll perception.
8 plus 5, so 13.
13. So unfortunately, whatever he swipes from somebody, you weren't able to catch a beat on because your vision just gets jutted from the wagon coming to a sudden halt. And yeah, Felix, there is a couple pouches that fall down. You don't know what's inside of it, but you just
So like as the cart jerks forward, like Felix out of his seat just tumbles forward, and like as he tumbles forward, that bag kind of like catches in his chest, and he rolls forward into the front of the cart and like legs up, back on the ground. Warn a fella next time you start to break, buddy. And he gets up and like kind of dusts himself off, fixes his pockets, and be like, I tell you what, drivers these days.
And as it happens, you do hear a couple of heavy armored individuals outside the cart. Wreathed in the armor of Calaman with little white and sky blue colorations around the outside. We're looking for Felix, Clubfoot, and Tyran.
It's the fun!
Yes, that is me.
Your
Yep.
presence is required inside Castle Calaman. The council is having a meeting that they would very much like you to attend before you go about with your events tonight evening. Please, follow us. Thank you, everyone. Keep on the journey.
Tyran kind of sits back and waits for Felix to go first so he can kind of stay behind him and keep an eye on what's going on.
Oh, you're letting me go?
Yes,
Oh,
go first, my friend.
you must know that I am a very noble person.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Finally, some respect around here. Felix will get out and.
And Tyran, you go on your very muscular donkey. The rest of them have horses that they're able to have you, Felix, go on. And as you kind of trot away from that path as it goes down to the left, you start to barrel down to the right, closer towards where the castle walls are. You just hear a faint voice in the distance being like, "Hey, what the hell happened to my character?" And so, as you all traverse through the city marketscapes, you notice there's a bit of a stage area, podium, where it looks like maybe someone's going to have a little bit of a speech somewhere, but you all go past that. The various guards that have led you into the castle walls, just signaling guards to open up their gated areas as you start to go through the front courtyard, through the very heavily armored double set of doors that adorns the front entrance of Castle Calaman. And as you're going inside, you notice stained glass windows, you're seeing white marble floors, old paintings and tapestries, some newly acquired, some very, very, very old. For some of you, never even knew this place existed. For some of you, maybe it's a shining jewel of the city, much like New York City. Like it's just like this beacon that you've always wanted to see. And you're going into like the governor's mansion, essentially. Like this is a very rare honor to even be inside the castle walls, let alone going into the castle itself, attending its varied ruling body. The four of you start to get escorted through various hallways and stairs. All of a sudden, you're presented with an ivory double set doors through a hallway of stained glass windows, sort of depicting the history of Calaman Keep, the city of Calaman, and its sort of evolution since the cataclysm. And as you go through the double set of doors, you are privy to this very wide, sprawling meeting room, the center of which has a different sort of adornment of white marble slab with various tile colorations, but very neat, very, very clean. There are bookshelves kind of put everywhere against the castle stone walls. There's portraits of the lead council members, and they're all in various tables in the center room. And there are Knights of Solamnia actually present as well. All their signias, although are a bit tarnished, their armor looks a bit dirty. It's not shining and spiff and speck clean like our friend Tyran is here. And as you're all arriving, Velzin and Strigid, you do arrive first. And then you notice two very strange looking people that don't look like they should be there at all. in the form of Wayreth and Tango, who are just kind of sitting there and just kind of look happy to be there. They look a bit confused. They got some meat in front of them. There's a little bit of assortment of snacks of like bread and assorted meats and cheeses and things like that. And there's sort of, they're at one end of the table, and you see a row of councilmen all adorned in fine clothes that very much do fit the part. Various colorations, some wearing cloaks, various rings, and various colorations of not only Calaman, but maybe various parts of the nearby region that these council members rule over. In the corner, there are 4 knights, all with this very, sort of this coloration, like very heavy-set gray, a little bit smoky. They're all wearing these massive helmets with these very intimidating, like bull-like horns that come out from either side. The base being this very dirty, smoking gray metal and shining silver designs that kind of weave around all over. Some that kind of look like rose stems and thorns that are kind of spreading all over the place. But their visages and their helmets and their cloaks holding their great swords, just standing guard at either entrances of this place. And as the Calaman guards bring in the last 2 for this meeting, Felix and Tyran, the 4 of you, suddenly they kind of come right behind Velzin and Strigid as the lead council member stands up at the head of the table. My friends, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for meeting me and my esteemed council members here. Please come, sit, take some bread, take some drink. Join us, please. And just sort of stands up and offers those seats next to Wayreth and Tango.
Tango?
Wayreth?
First of all, it's so good to see you again.
I know, right?
Why are we here?
Oh, did you just show up? Did you not get a letter? It was all about...
No. I mean, why are we...
He's died.
Why are we in this room?
Well,
Is this a funeral?
Very important, obviously. Like, come on. I mean, maybe Ispen left us something in his will. I mean, I feel bad now because all I did was bring him... I mean, we used to collect things like, when we would go on adventures, and so I brought him something that I could light on fire now that he's died. But maybe he left us money or property.
Wait. Are you all here for Ispen Greenshield as well?
Yes.
Dear
Is
friend.
this-
He was such a lovely-
Sure. I look to the man at the head of the council. Is this everyone for Ispen Greenshield's funeral? You really had to send me an invitation to come here. What is it? Like there's 7 of us.
Everyone's just stone quiet.
I knew he. Did you see this guy's donkey? Thick.
Thank you for that revelation, Mr. Felix. The rest of you, if you would be so kind as to take a seat, we're happy to explain the situation to you.
I mean, I'm quite curious.
Right, yeah.
Do the rest of you take a seat?
Yes, Tyran sits down next to Wayreth because he looks oddly familiar.
And Velzin, you do notice as Tyran sort of walks up in that stocky nature, wearing shiny, clean, crisp, Salamnik knight armor of the Order of the Sword.
I have not stopped staring at it, except for when the thick donkey was mentioned. I couldn't help but turn to see if that was in the room. But I will sit next to. Instead of sitting next to Tyran, I'm going to sit one. I'm going to let there be one empty chair in between us. But I'm definitely noticing this guy.
I just sidle up and I sit. I do that thing where you kind of you're sort of sitting on the chair, and I just kind of sit like this between Velzin and Tyran.
Is the donkey in the room?
Unfortunately not. It was left on the outskirts outside of the city wall, tied up before coming inside.
Tyran looks next and sees Strigid and just tells himself to shut up because Lauren said something unsavory.
And also, Tyran, make a intelligence check for me.
Oh my gosh. D20 again?
Plus your intelligence modifier. If it's a minus, it will go towards the D20.
Okay. Intelligence check -2. I got an 8.
Innate. Some of your brethren are here. Fellow knights wearing armor, albeit not as clean as yours, but some of your fellow kinsmen are here. Look like they are probably stationed working in tandem with the castle of Calaman. You do know that the Knights of Salamnia have various orders that spread all over Ansalon. Kind of self-proclaimed policemen of the continent and of the realm. They have their own, some orders have their own inhibitions, political aspirations. Some very much just want the realm to be safe and very much protect its peoples and its interests. Sometimes the religious aspects and what they want to achieve sometimes are a little bit questionable. But seeing them here gives you a sense of calm and peace. You're like, oh, so my brothers are here. This must be very, very important. And as you all start to take a seat at the table, the head council member at the head of the table says, "My name is Lord Becaris. I am the lead council member here in the Council of Calaman, and my fellow council members here are all here for an important, a little bit of a reconnaissance mission. Ispin Greenshield has been very kind to Castle Calaman, and has been a very active member in the realm, has been a very valuable asset to us. And your coming here isn't random. We had reached out to many members that our scouts had found out were close to him at certain points to try to ascertain some information for us. Ispin, up until his disappearance, had been working for us on a mission scouting the eastern ways of Ansalon. And some information was coming back to us that was a little troubling. We found no trace of Ispin's body. We could not locate anything but some bloodstains and a few of his effects. It has been some time now since he has been brought in any info of his whereabouts or where he's been, so we naturally assumed the worst."
But the letter said that he died at his home.
That was to hopefully ensure that close friends of his would want to come and celebrate his passing.
He's not dead.
Well, we don't know.
So why am I even here then?
Why would you
we are
lie to
hoping
us?
to gather.
Indeed, why? It says Ispin passed away peaceful here at his home in Vogler.
We assume that the man has passed on and is dead. We did not find a body. We did find blood. Personal effects of his that we know for a fact he would never leave behind were found. It has been months, many, many months, and the mission he was on, we had nothing else to really evaluate, and we thought this was probably the worst outcome, and we wanted to honor the man that's given so much to Castle Calaman.
So he might still be alive.
Well, that is where you come in. Has Ispin reached out to any of you? Has he given you any information of his whereabouts or where he might have been? Did he mention anything about dragonelles or leathery winged creatures, anything like that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What?
Dragonelles.
Interesting.
Why would you
A
even
scout to the
celebrate
east.
his passing? Why would you celebrate his passing if you have no evidence of him being gone?
Well, we feared the worst. And if he is not dead, then that'll be beneficial for everybody. But we wanted to celebrate his memory, but also get you here. And to make sure that anyone closer to him would feel obligated to come and respect his funeral. We know sometimes just sending a squire boy doesn't always go out the way you want, and we had to ensure that people closest to him, people who have a vested interest in him, would be here.
With all due respect, sir, but have you not sent anyone to look for
We were
him?
the only 6 that responded.
And Velzin is looking around the room, and how many other guards or knights are here?
There's 4.
What about them? He's been gone for months. How is it that you haven't sent anyone after him? How is it that we're the first ones?
The knights just stand there, silent.
Humans are very lazy.
Tyran looks disappointed
we had-
at his comrades.
The mission that we had Ispin Greenshield scout had to do with very concerning skirmishes and battles out in the east. Information and communication has been very, very hard, as whoever is starting trouble out there has been very good at isolation, taking over small villages here and there and making it so that nobody knows the details of what's going on. Even though this area is not very close to Calaman, we hoped that you might be more formidable against these foes than other scouts we've sent. As strange and as weird as these enemies we've been hearing reports on are maybe formidable and strong, you all have one aspect over them that they do not possess.
What?
You are better at dying.
What?
And the Knights of Salamnia come over, slay Wayreth, start to stab Tango, and drop below the table. The council members get slain, slit, blood splatters the pristine ivory tile floors, and we are gonna roll initiative right after this break.
Oh my goodness!
What?
Stressed out.
Welcome back, heroes. Do you promise that you'll help some people?
We have a very good reputation for not murdering people.
Shh, don't lie.
You
Hi.
guys can call me Hammerlane. Who wants a shot? They're noodle arms. Now we arm
That's
wrestle.
supposed to happen. What? How's it smell?
It's high-end, very expensive.
I'm silence. Hello, fellas.
That's what happens when you let your heroes drink.
Look at his face.
Temple, though.
Temple. That's the word I was looking for.
You're a cleric.
He's my bodyguard.
Yeah.
We're on a mission from gods.
People get old and die.
Catman.
So someone sent you to end the circus.
Yes. Well,
Back right up.
does any one of you speak common? No? All right then, death it is.
I have control of my faculties.
You don't drink blood.
You drank blood out of a reed, my arm.
I want to throw some acid on a pixie.
Half vampire.
Half. I'm gonna reach for my spear. I'm like,
Double botch.
I'm not on their side. I'm totally on your team. Trees just like bursting out of their chest like more teeth for me to break.
we're on the same page. Yes, all right, yes, don't worry, everything will be just fine over here, everything will be just fine.
Slam.
Unconscious again!
I'm gonna take your word against someone I've known for years.
I mean, I really don't like sleeping alone.
She slides a key across the bar to you. You have questions. I have answers. Are you ready to roll? Yeah!
And welcome back, everybody. Now on to the second part of our Dragonlance Shadow of War. If you're just tuning into the stream right now or watching the second part on YouTube, our heroes here are about to go into combat in a bloody massacre that just happened at the castle chambers in the city of Calaman. So let's get to it, everybody. They rolled initiative during the break, so we did all that, so there's nothing left to do but to reveal this battle map made in-house from our amazing props team.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that is pretty awesome.
So, got a little bit of directing traffic here, obviously. Your minis are all here. The camera will zoom in on certain points and be able to give you a bit of an easier look as to what's going on. But for you guys watching, Velzin, this is you here.
Got it.
Strigid, that is you there. Felix, that is you there.
Word.
Tyran, that is you there.
Oh, across from us.
We got the knights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head council member here. And like I said before the break, roll initiative. It's on. Okay, so first in the initiative order, Tyran, our dwarf knight of Salamnia. What would you like to do, my friend?
Well, as he sees what just happened, he is just filled with rage. The betrayal, the feeling of why would his brothers in arms do this? Why? So he just goes into rage.
Raging, all of like the chair around you, anything that's around you, this just sudden force of energy, almost Super Saiyan like, as you just rage and scream to the air, ah! And this little like invisible force just knocks over the chair beside you. Any like debris on the ground just starts to flutter about. What would you like to do next?
I would like to. Who's the strongest one in the room?
Strongest. Well, you've got 4
The biggest.
sturdy knights right here. There's one
I think
very
it's
much
you,
next
probably.
to you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
for
right
that
now it's
guy.
probably you.
Yeah,
All right, so going here.
yeah, I'm going after
Got
that
it.
guy.
So moving over. Bam, bam. Would you like to attack?
Absolutely, I would.
Okay, and you have the option to do this recklessly, which means you would be able to do it at advantage, but targets against you would also have advantage. Would you like to pass on that or just straight hit?
I think I'll go reckless, just the nature of what's happening.
Yeah.
All or nothing. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll with advantage, my friend.
20. Ooh.
22. That definitely hits as you start to rage forward. Massive hammer out. Ugh, and it's conflicting. These are Knights of Solamnia, but you know for a fact that not a true knight would just murder people like this. So you just crack right into the breastplate. Roll your damage.
Roll damage 2d6. 6 plus 3, that's a 9.
It's a 9. Okay, so 9 damage altogether.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, got it. So you just run up to this guy. Crack, crack. The breastplate concaves in itself, leaving a massive dent where wherever the sigil would have been. It's the knight skitters across the marble floor as they use their longsword to just judder into the marble slab to steady themselves as bits of marble and rock just start to break as it leaves a scar in the ground. Now, I believe, do you have extra attack?
Bonus action.
Should be, yeah. I believe you have an extra attack, so you should be able to attack again if you like at advantage.
All
The
right,
same
let's
guy.
go. That is an 8 plus 6, so 14.
14, so unfortunately that does miss. So you swing, but did you at advantage? Did you roll twice?
I did not roll twice.
All right, so
Roll
roll one more
again.
time because you were rolling
it's
recklessly.
reckless. Yeah. That is a 10 plus 6, so 16.
16, so still just misses, unfortunately, as you rock him with that first hit, skitters across the ground, sword stopping their foot. You go in for a giant strike, but they pick up that same longsword from on the ground and just steady your giant hammer with the longsword, and you're just in melee with that knight. Was there anything else you'd like to do? You have the option to move away, but that might incur an opportunity attack. If you have any bonus actions, but I believe you use bonus action to rage and reckless or something like that, so I believe you're out of options.
Yeah.
All right, so moving over to Strigid.
You see Strigid's eyes narrow and her eyes kind of turn black, and she yells, "And now it's time for the hunt, I see." And she shifts, and she goes into her full humanoid owl form, which means I get plus 8 HP, advantage on wisdom checks, and no creature within 30 feet of me can make an attack roll with advantage. And I can fly now because my other arm starts to grow feathers, and now I can fly.
That's correct. So the
you guys
ceiling is
ready?
about 25, 30 feet. So 30 feet.
Good to know. Okay.
Big
so
haul.
that is my bonus action. Kevin, what is the moon right now? Is it a full moon, a new moon, or a crescent moon? And you can roll for that if you want.
I will have you roll for that, actually. Let's roll a d4. 1 will be new, 2 will be crescent, 3 will be 4, or 3 will be a full moon, and a 4 is a mulligan, so roll again.
Okay. That's a 2. So that was crescent,
Correct.
right? Okay. Okay. So nothing extra special happens. My stuff is new moon. But I will go ahead and still use my meta magic to cast a spell as a bonus action. Oh wait,
Okay.
no, I just did my bonus action. Hold on. I don't do that, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. I just cast a spell. I'm basically like full owl situation, and
Yeah, so you're right here.
since we got his name, I yell, "Lord Vicaris," and I cast Rouleau's Psychic Lance. So, because I know his name, basically a lance of psychic power comes from my forehead, and beams straight at him. I don't even have to see him. And as long as he's within 120 feet.
Yeah, and you
it
do
will
see
hit.
him. He's right here at the center
Great.
stage, able to
Amazing.
easily take that hit.
Incredible. So he must save on an intelligence saving throw against a 15.
Okay. That is an 11.
Nice.
Fails. So a couple of things are going to happen.
Yes.
Number one, he's going to take full damage of. Oh, there's lost a little thing. 7d6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Holy crap.
Oh!
Okay. That's so many. Let me hold on. Math. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So he takes the full 24 hit points of damage.
Good lord.
And is incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
Okay, so this
He's like
lance,
super messed up.
does anybody else can see it, or is it just like a psychic thing that just you stare and that person just looks like they got hit by a giant harpoon?
It's visible. It looks like a for me I'll just say it looks like shimmering feathers like coming out of my forehead.
Shimmering, sorry?
Feathers.
Shimmering feathers, okay. So yeah, you suddenly just churn into your owl form. Feathers start to whip out. Garments kind of fall to the ground, looking much more bestial, much more bird-like. And Velzin, I don't know if you've seen this form at first, or have you before?
No. I don't know if I've seen you. I'm not sure. I'll let Strigid decide that. For our
I will
history.
say that you think you saw it once in the middle of the night, and that was you weren't sure.
Yeah.
And now you know.
So this is a whole new form
Love
for
it.
you.
Ooh, that does add to something that I thought I saw from my childhood. Great. So, I mean, one thing I will say is Velzin was just about to yell to Strigid to get behind me, but mid-sentence, all of this happens and he stops, stunned at what he just saw Strigid do.
Yeah, so you're like, Strigid, get back! And just like close to fall to the ground, garments fall, some cling on as this like immaculate, shining white owl form starts to take hold. And then all of a sudden, just looking over at Lord Bakaris, these glittering silver feathers just dart out of the head, and like a massive harpoon just hits Lord Bakaris straight in the chest and goes ass over key kettle, just smacking on the back of his head. There's a bit of a crack in the slab of where he was standing and just is just knocked out entirely.
Wow.
Oh yeah, my movement. I'm just gonna go like fly to the ceiling, just chill, just above where I am. Still where I am.
Just up here somewhere? Okay. So we'll just say
Yeah.
do you want to go the full 30 feet up?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So after that massive hit, just kind of looks over to Velzin, a little bit of a wink, and just flies up and just hovers up there for a minute. Okay, so you're 30 feet up. Up next is Felix.
Oh boy. So seeing Strigid just absolutely just like down the main guy, Felix is like, but he's not dead yet though, yeah?
He appears to be, make just for a free thing, make a medicine check.
The 3 plus nothing. 3.
Yeah, hard to tell from this distance. You just see someone who just got knocked on their ass and is just still, but you can't tell if they're dead or just knocked out.
Oh boy, we're gonna go check. Felix is gonna run up to it, and I'm asking because does this kind of sneak attack, or do I get advantage on this attack to apply?
He's
sneak attack?
incapacitated, at the very least.
I would say so.
He's prone.
Yeah, prone,
All right,
on the ground, incapacitated.
Advantage and
So-
sneak attack.
Yeah. So I would love to apply that. That's an 18 for the first one, it's 15 second one. With my rapier, that is a 24 to hit. Gearing down.
Okay. What's your full movement?
30 feet. 30
Yeah, you'll
feet. I could use a bonus.
You'll just get there.
Word. Thank you. Oh yeah, okay. So with the rapier, plunge it straight down into him. 4, 10, 18 piercing.
Just hits. Roll damage.
Oh no, that was a 24 to hit. That was 18 damage.
Oh, yeah, that does all the things. Murderbot calculating. So that was 18 damage. Okay, so you look down at Lord Baccharis here. As you just see him just kind of laid over, you sort of dart using your very high, like, speedy agility to get through the tables as Tyran just rushes past you to get the first knight. You're able to wiggle by, go to Lord Baccharis, take out the rapier. Bit of blood splits across the marble slab. You look down, though, make a medicine check.
It's a 10.
10. So you do hear just like a bit of a wince when you went into strike with the rapier. You can see his chest is just
still
breathing
alive.
slightly, so still alive.
Bonus action, two-handed fighting, two-weapon fighting. So I'll take my dagger and just go ahead and attack him down with that. And that is an 8 on the first one. It's a 12 plus 6, 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so no added.
So you don't add any damage modifiers. It's just straight up.
Right. All right. So there's just one on the D4 to kind of stick him.
1 point of damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's heavily like breathing, like you're like just die, you stuff, and just start getting him in the ribs. Just like little wincing motions, but not completely dying.
That'll be my turn.
Okay, what a turn it was. Okay, so Quincy.
Yes.
Could you make me a charisma saving throw?
I can certainly try. Natural 20.
Oh.
All right. As you are over Lord Baccharis here, just basically just shoving him in the ribs. You feel cold. Just a second. The hairs on your arms and the back of your neck stand up on your hair body. And you get a shiver, like, and then you just keep going back to what you're doing. But does not take effect. Okay.
Oh. Would I know what that is, kind of slightly, with a little bit of that Arcanic Trickster?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence isn't bad, but I'm too busy trying to...
Sorry, that or religion?
I'll keep the same rule that I had. It was low anyway. It was only a 5.
Yeah, no, it's just... Things were really cold for a minute, and you felt just kind of chilly. There must have been a draft in here. And just go back to stabby mode. But with Baccharis here, that does have you sort of on the ground as you're going in, just grabs your forearm. You're not gonna leave this place alive. The octave, Lord Baccharis' voice goes down 2 octaves lower as they put out a sizable dagger blade and start to stab you in kind. Gonna be 2 attacks.
Okay.
First one is a 12, and
that misses.
Second one is 17.
Reaction shield.
So
my 15 goes to a 20.
Like the blade that he's holding is like, that's not a knife, this is a knife. Like it's not like a small sort of dagger, but like somewhere in between of like a very like hefty curved blade that he reached out from his robes. But as you go in, you kind of block it with the other hand, and he goes in again, just put up a shield as it starts to splinter a little bit as he goes in a second attack. Just snaps his wrist a bit in an awkward way and takes the pain, kind of drops it by his side. Not able to pierce yet.
Try again.
All right. So from there, the knights are now going. And they are going to stand here. There's one with Tyran and one over by where Wayreth was. The one battled with Tyran starts to sort of combat with you. The great sword is in contest with the warhammer. Like, you haven't heard these knights speak yet. and also this gravelly, low octave voice, "Knights, hold!" And this sort of surge of this purplish coloration comes out from the armor itself and ignites into the other armored knights. And they just have this purple visage sort of around them at the moment. So that is going to be an action for that. And he will stay firm. The second knight is going to go and is going to make his way towards Felix.
Cool.
He's gonna get right in there. And is gonna make 2 attacks with the longsword as you have that gleeful like and just look over as the knight is just coming over to come and smack you down.
Okay.
2 attacks.
My shield is still up. I have an AC of 20 right now.
Yep. So the first one is a 13.
Miss.
And the second one is a 23.
Oh! Yeah, that goes.
Okay. So that is going to be 10 points of slashing damage to you.
That gets me, and I'm like, oof! He has a knife! Ugh.
All right, so those 2 are going to go. As you were just distracted for a moment, that this Knight of Solamnia, head shrouded in shadow, horns coming out from either side, just goes down to hit, but you're able to just roll out of the way as it smacks into the wooden raised flooring, puts it out, and goes in for a side swipe as you're trying to block with the shield once more, but it just cracks through, and the arcane shield shatters into splinters on the ground. It just hits you directly in the side pretty harshly. Up next, Velzin.
Okay, so how far away from me is the nearest knight? Did the 2 that were on my side move towards Felix?
So you've got one right here. That's sort of close to Strigid, or would have been if they weren't in the air, which is around 15 feet from there. And then the one going for Felix is around 5, 10, 20, 25 from you.
And the head council member, the Lord, what's his face?
Bakaris, yeah.
Bakaris. He is still prone, right?
Still prone, just sort of, before it seemed like they were a bit lifeless and couldn't do anything, and then all of a sudden you hear a bit of a whisper and then a attack coming from him, so he seems to be moving around a bit, but he's still very much like stuck on the ground and can't move.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about that? I should have asked earlier. So because my spell said he was incapacitated until the start of my next turn, should that have not happened? Or did he use something that he had that was legendary?
Sus. Big, huge, bold letters. Seems very sus. You know for a fact that when you deadbolt, like bullseye, that attack, that person should not be moving. They should be on the ground, not doing anything. That is very much like a what the hell, just he's still moving. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple things that are going to happen. One guy is 15 feet behind me. Velzin turns to look at him briefly, assesses the distance, and then he moves forward so that I can be next to Felix. What I'd like to be is next to Felix, 10 feet away from Lord Bakaris. And I pull out this very bizarre looking pole arm. It's a long pole arm, but on the tip of it is a saw blade, and the wheel starts to spin as I move across the floor, and sparks of moonlight start to fly off of it. This is my moonlight saw blade pole arm, and as soon as I get it in striking distance, I'm going to activate my precision strike as my Knight of Solamnia, and I'm going to activate my Giant's Might as. Well, let me double check one thing.
And is it all to Bakaris?
It is all to him. So once per turn, I make a weapon attack roll against a creature, and I can cause the attack roll. He's prone. This would already be advantage. I'm doing this anyway. I want to roll the extra damage dice. So Giant Smite. This 5'10" half elf starts to grow in size and suddenly becomes like 6. Not too much, but suddenly he appears to be about 6'3". As I strike this guy with advantage. I just rolled a natural 20 and a 1. Were my two rolls. Nat 20 and a 1.
Okay. All right. We love to see it. Just gonna roll some things here. Don't worry about me. Old dice cream sandwich over here.
Okay, so that would be... I now have to gather a bunch of dice because I declared...
Oh, darn.
Precision strike, so that would have been an extra D8. Is it just my weapon dice that's doubled, or is it everything? My precision attack and my giant smite attack.
I believe on a crit, all the damage you accrued to that hit is doubled.
I am fine with that. So that is now 2d6. Giant smite is a d6, so that's 2d6. Precision strike, which the declaration of is not... His number rolled. Yeah, that doesn't require an action to activate. I could just declare it. Okay. And then my weapon. Holy crap. All right, well. I'm so bad at math too, so I'm the worst person to have to add all this up.
And what kind of damage is this? Just slashing, piercing?
It's magical slashing.
Gotcha. Always
It's an
magical.
internal rearranger.
Always magical.
Mm-hmm. So that is 10, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21. Plus. So that is 27 points of damage on that first attack. And in my mind, I wanted to position myself to be adjacent to the knight that just attacked Felix.
Yeah, so I put you here. You were kind of in both ranges of them, or did you want to be more here?
Yeah, if I could pivot around to be adjacent to the knight and 10 feet away from Lord Baccharis.
Yeah, that would be there, yeah. You'd be 10 feet away from him and right next to the knight there.
Cool. So then I used my bonus action already to activate Giant Smite. So I'm going to take my second attack. Okay. And it's still at advantage because he's prone. I'm hoping this hits. This is a 26 to hit.
You're hitting Lord Baccharis?
Yes.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
And precise strike is 1. That's 1 attack. That's 1. Okay, this is going to be less exciting, but it's still going to be a hit. 11 points of slashing, magical slashing damage.
11 points.
Mm-hmm. And that is my turn.
Boy, oh boy. Okay. You got a crit on this hit.
I did. Had a crit on this hit.
Okay. So, as you go in, rocketing from your position, take out this pole arm that maybe the teeth of the blades are kind of cinched in. Like at first glance, you can't really tell the surprise that's going to come with this magnificent weapon that you possess. And then you take it out, click a button. They start just revving on the engine as you kind of drag it on the ground and skit with all of the marble tiles as you fling debris into the knight's eyes, so you're able to just get into Lord Baccharis. Just sawing this person's corpse on the ground who had some little bit of life back into him that's trying to battle off Felix. Felix, this is horrifying to you right now. You are seeing this man, this half-elf fighter run in and just start saw-blaying the body parts off of this person's body. Legs, arms, bit of into the torso, getting into like a bit of a gory sort of can opener style. And the body just, whatever, the dagger that they were holding, just like taking all of this hits. Forearm falls off, a bit of leg falls off, blood is just seeping from underneath the body into the rest of the marble floor. And because you crit, and I did not roll to beat that hit, where are we? A spiritual essence climbs out of the now ripped multiple parts body. And the translucent entity hasn't quite taken detailed form, but you can kind of surmise that whatever was happening, Lord Baccharis, probably wasn't under his own volition, as this shrouded spirit starts to appear out of his body to exit the vessel that is being chopped into tiny bits.
Uh-oh.
And you also see on the spirit, because that is the vessel only had 10 hit points when you started doing your thing. So you're seeing on this spiritual shroud rips, tears in its fabric from the hits that you did, bleeding over into the next form.
I lock on that spirit that's in front of me, putting together what I've done and also what I now know I need to do next.
So good turn there. Up next, we got Knights 3 and 4. Strigid, you're up top. This one over here, rushing over, going straight for our half elf rune fighter here, who just saw bladed the council member leader. They're gonna make 2 attacks against you. Ooh, those are double 18s plus 5, so that's 22, I believe. 23.
Is that to who? Is that to me?
That's to you, yeah. There's one knight just saw you sawing up the council member leader and went.
So is it the one that was further away?
So it was the one that was on the opposite side of you, the one by Tango over here. That went.
If he then, so as soon as he gets within my reach, I'm going to use my reaction to strike him. It's
Perfect.
Full-on master.
Sure. So 10 feet. So you keep him 10 feet at bay, correct?
It doesn't stop his movement. It just I get to use my reaction.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I do have I am Sentinel.
You too? Nice.
I am. So, but I'm not sure if that applies. Wait, it is an opportunity attack, isn't it?
Well, technically no, because they're not moving away from you. They're moving into.
They're not. Yeah.
So you still hit them, but they'll still be able. You're right. So they'll still be able to get up in there. Cool. Okay.
That's polearm mastery, I think.
I do. Oh, well, I am a polearm master.
No, so it's the reach is that within 10 feet he can hit enemies within 10 feet of him. Sentinel just means that if someone was 10 feet away from him and moved further with polearm, he could like like a cane.
I
just,
get ya.
Get back here.
This is a language of polearm master. I'm gonna miss, so this doesn't matter. But creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they enter my reach. Would that activate Sentinel?
I'll say yes.
When I hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed. Yeah, I mean, the Sentinel says when I hit a creature with an opportunity attack, it becomes 0. Good to know for next time because I definitely missed. I think I rolled an 11 to hit with that.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, so it doesn't hit, so they don't get stayed back. So
no, but you just see this.
We'll make that a roll from now on because I just think that's neat. All right, so yeah, your reflexes are just cool. Like it would have been cool. But then you're just kind of in awe of this spirit that's just excavated from this body, and you're like, "What the hell?" And like, oh. And you go to block, but just a second too late as their strike down just knocks down your saw blade, and they go in for 2 hits that are gonna connect, I believe, with 10 through 23.
23 will hit me.
So this is going to be 2d6. That's 12 points of slashing damage on the first hit.
Copy that.
And 13 on the second hit.
I am going to use my reaction to do Spirit Shield to reduce his damage by 2d6.
Reduce the damage by 2d6?
Yeah.
All right, roll those 2d6, my man.
I got a 9.
Nice.
Okay, so reduce the 9 points of damage. So as that that first hit comes. You kind of go for a quick block, but you don't get your arms up in time. So the blade just passes through your guard and hits you into the shoulder. Takes the sword back, goes in for a big, huge, sweeping strike, and you're just like a bit confused with the spirit and everything. You're trying to steady yourself, and this just shrouded shield just takes the brunt of the hit from getting fully impacted and hits you a little bit, but not as hard as you thought. And you look over to Tyran, who's still in sort of in combat with his knight, just looks over and he goes, gives you a nod.
I give him a nod back and focus on the enemies that are right in front of me again.
Okay, so we're going back at the top of the round with Tyran, in fact. So after helping out Velzin, what would you like to do?
I'd like to keep going on the guy I'm with.
All right, go for those attacks at advantage. Oh, no, sorry. I have one more attack. My bad. There is another knight that hasn't done anything yet. Who's going to reach down by his guard, by his legs here. That's the word. Bring out a massive crossbow and just aim it up at Strigid. So this is going to be one ranged attack here. Ooh, that's going to miss. That is just an 8 altogether. So it goes up and just hits into the ceiling, but you're able to just maneuver and fly around, not touching you at all, Strigid. Okay, so then, yeah, we'll go over to you, Tyran. So hitting your knight, go for it.
I'm going to do a precision strike.
Nice, okay.
So what does that do exactly? So if it hits, I have advantage, and if it hits, I roll d8 to add damage.
Yeah, so you already have advantage with Reckless, I believe.
Am I still in Reckless? Like,
I think it's for
does
more
it
than just
continue?
a round. But regardless, you did
It's
precision
every turn.
Yeah, every turn. So, but
I got-
you have advantage regardless. So roll twice, my dude.
I just got a 20, so I don't think I can beat that.
Yeah,
Nice.
Was it a crit?
That's a
Yeah,
Like
so
you rolled and it
20,
was a 20?
natural 20. Yeah.
Hey, your first crit, my man. Good job. Righteous. Okay, this is gonna suck for that night. So
2d6.
Beyond that, roll a second attack because you have 2 attacks. So just roll another roll to hit.
18 plus 24.
Yeah, so that'll hit. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll the damage for that first attack with all the dice and mods and everything. Then whatever that result is, just times it by 2. That'll be your crit damage.
Okay. I got 17 plus 3, 17 plus 3, 20.
As a base?
40.
Yeah, so 40 total.
Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna let you save. So you rolled. It was an 18 to hit on the second one.
I rolled
24.
No wait, that doesn't. I rolled the wrong dice for that. That's my bad.
There you go. So it doesn't matter anyways, because I'm gonna let you have a chance to do another attack against somebody else.
Okay.
Because as you're just in stance with this guy, and the hammer's gone with the great sword, you're like, look over to Velzin, able to put that shield up, give them the nod. Do that same trick that you did to Galahad, where you just knee spin around and crack, just do a haymaker to their knee as they buckle, and you take your hammer and literally concave the helmet into their head, into their breastplate, and they just
He's gone.
and then fall to the ground. That dude is dust. So you have another attack. So I will let you direct traffic. If you want to try to hit another guy, you've got another attack coming for you.
I'm gonna go for the guy that went after Velzin.
Velzin. Okay, and what's your movement?
35 feet.
35. Yeah, easy. So right up behind that guy.
So roll to
Make your
attack.
attack at advantage.
There's another 20.
what?
What?
You got 3 crits in this? What the
There we
heck?
go.
Oh,
Okay.
her dice.
I need your dice tower, please.
My bear dice tower for the win.
The hammer gods are with you today, sir.
Hammer!
Same thing. Roll your damage, whatever the result, times it by 2.
I got 9 plus 3 is 12. So 24.
So same thing. You clock that guy in the head, goes concave with his breastplate. Hammer! You rush over. See Velzin's got 2 knights kind of dealing with, having a bit of hard time with the other one. And for a dwarf, like, you can get pretty high up the ground with those big meaty legs of yours. You just another giant slam on the spine of the knight. Whatever armor they have in the back there, just another concave dent as they just get hit forward into Velzin, and it looks like one of their arms dislocated. Like whatever they were holding it, like with 2 hands, you hit the back of the spine, you see one arm just drop down, not able to hold up with the other greatsword, just having a trouble like holding up their greatsword with the other hand. Lots of damage. They look really, really hurt. Anything else you'd like to do, maybe? More crits? More killing the guys?
I think I'm done my attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. What a turn that was. Okay. Strigid, up in the air, floating around. What'd you like to do?
Hey, so is there a group still below me, or did they move away?
So there's one knight that's just right here that was
There's one guy.
hitting you with a crossbow.
Okay, well, he's gonna have a real bad time. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cast Rhymes Binding Ice. So please make a Constitution saving throw against a 15.
15, okay. That is an 18.
Okay, so it takes half of this damage still.
Okay.
3d8 cold damage, 6, 10, 11, 12. So 6 cold damage. Let's see. It's not hindered by ice, but now there's just ice like all around them. So it's, all messy over there. I did that. And, I forgot to say that I wanted to use meta magic before that to make this a bonus action instead of a full action. It's just a thing that happens. So I spend 2 sorcery points doing that. And then, I see he's not finished yet. So my eyes narrow and just go, the prey must fall. And I take my crossbow out. And I do a regular old crossbow attack.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's see what I do. It says 17 hit.
Just misses, unfortunately.
Oh no, boosh. All right, well.
Boosh.
And I
Would you like to move
believe,
at all?
yeah, I was thinking about it. How far am I from the action in the center of the room? How many
So if you're going on just horizontal here, 5, 10,
Blind path.
15, 20, 25. From there to there?
I go about halfway there. I'm still in the air about halfway.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll just chill there.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, being in the air, the cold, the air in the room starts to get frigid and ice-like as the rest of you are still battling on. You just, again, the skin just becomes a bit coarse and dry. That shiver goes up all of your spines, and a bit of frost starts to just crawl around corners of desks and tables and chairs. The marble on the floor looks a little bit slipperier, and this Knight of Solamnia who's under you is like, oh, well, it doesn't say anything actually, just with a giant crossbow trying to gauge your accuracy, not looking at their feet as the ice slowly climbs over their boots, and they're like, but in them looking down, you're like, perfect. Just misses them narrowly as they look down to see their feet stuck to the floor, and you're like, God damn it. All right. Fly over that way. Okay, so after that, come to Felix.
The ghost that kind of came out of the dead guy, is it within kind of like attacking distance? Can I get that?
You sure can. It's just right on the other side of Lord Baccharis there.
Okay, so I want to grab, if I can do that as a bonus action, grab the dagger that Lord Baccharis had.
Mm-hmm.
I want to grab it and use that knife to attack the spirit.
Okay, go for it.
That's a 7 plus a 6. That's a 13.
13, unfortunately, does miss as you go in and just pick up this wide-width curved blade with a bit of a hook on it. Ha! You go in for a strike, but this spirit is still not fully formed yet, and just goes straight through it.
All right. I want to use my movement to get on the other side of the spirit, so I'm kind of flanking it with Velzin. So like I'm on the opposite side of the spirit, and that way if Velzin wanted to attack it, maybe it'll
You're
help.
gonna go here?
However it flanks the spirit between me and Velzin.
So you'd like to go around this way?
Yeah,
Behind
put
it?
myself on the opposite side of it.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's say right around there.
All right.
Just
Word.
right there behind it. Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
And one more time. Well, let me see. Felix, would you like to roll me a charisma saving throw?
I can certainly try. That is a solid 10.
Okay. Some of you are going to be able to see this out in the open now. But as Felix, as you're like, I gotta get through this thing, you saw that it was a bit misty, corporeal, or incorporeal. It just wafted through your hand. You're like, I gotta get a better beat on this. You notice your friends behind you fighting the knights. You just have an instinct just to walk through it.
Uh-huh.
Velzin, you've not really taken your eye off of this shroud. Like you're fighting the knights, but you're like, still keep an eye as Felix walks through it, much like a puff of mist when you walk through a smoke cloud, just all of it goes into Felix's nostrils, into his mouth, into his body. Felix, you feel this cold chill go up your spine. And if you kind of like imagine the movie Get Out, where this whole room is your viewpoint, you suddenly just like the peepholes of your reality are just falling away. And you're suddenly falling into a black abyss.
Love that. Love that.
And the rest of you just see Felix like, "Ugh, ugh." Demeanor changes, posture changes, and he's just standing there. The shroud of the
Release
spirit.
your grip on him! I scream.
Release your grip on him.
Yes.
You see the body of Felix in front of you. The voice, different. Steady your blade, and maybe I'll give you some consideration.
I just stare him down. Oh, man.
What is the point of doing all of this if you were trying to be rid of Ispin and now us? What do we have that you want exactly?
Oh, you have some things that are valuable. You're very good at your jobs. You're very powerful people. Things that connect to Ispin. You know what? Hey, you can't tell me what to do. And just starts to like catch himself before like revealing the master plan. And just carry on. I can wait. Just as Felix just sort of sits by. Okay. After that, the Knight of Solamnia, who got a heavy indent in his back, is kind of caught between you two, but just spins around. He's going to make 2 attacks against you, Tyran. That is a 16 and a 15.
So what is that against?
Against your AC.
My armor class is 17.
There you go. So both miss as the knight with a massive dent, one arm broken to the side, hurling his greatsword with one hand, trying to hit you, but you're just way too powerful with that hammer and just blocking and darting away, not hitting you whatsoever. Come to Velzin.
Okay. Oh boy. So, are any of the knights down yet? One is severely beat up.
One
I
got
see.
murdered straight up. This one heavily wounded. You can see blood pouring down from the back of the armor down the armpit, down the leg. The arm is like broken. He's kind of just clinging to life at this point. He's just making the best of it. This one, barely touched. This one, I believe you did some damage to this one.
Yes. I'm going to attack the one that just lashed at Tyran.
Tyran, okay.
And I'm going to use this as my Giant's Might attack. Okay. Once each returns. All right, I'm gonna hopefully hit him. Oh. That's a 19 plus. It's like a 27
Hits.
to hit. Great. Okay, so he's gonna take D10 plus a D6. He takes 17 points of magical damage, piercing.
Again, with that saw blade revving up, the spirit just mocking you, like, "Ah!" Get right into the side where the armor doesn't quite meet, and you kind of switch handles so that the blade is coming at this end, and you just do that kind of motion. And you see parts of that torso start to widen as the knight just falls down right by Tyran's feet.
Oh, so he's out.
Out.
Nice. I am gonna then I'm gonna pivot around to the other one, the other knight that's right next to me, and this time I'm gonna use this my Squire Salamnia precise strike. So I will have advantage on this attack against him.
There you go.
And oh, but I don't think that matters. It's 15 to hit.
Misses, unfortunately.
Then for my bonus action, I'm going to use my polearm master extra attack. As a bonus action, I can whip my polearm around and hit him with the other side of it.
Sweet. Okay.
And that will be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Nice. So he will take a whopping 8 points of, this would be blunt damage, I suppose, of the opposite side. Bludgeoning.
Okay.
Still magical, I suppose, because my weapon's magical. And that's my turn.
All right, so same thing as this knight is still, you've got a good hit on him, but he's still pretty beefy. And you just whip around as you did that kind of strike to uppercut saw blade through the torso of the one knight. You then just whip around in a straight just whack motion with the blunt end of the staff end of your blade. The knight just takes a big smack as parts of the flesh just fall down to the ground. But still out.
Where is the shroud? How far away from me is he?
So the shroud is now Felix.
Oh, you're right. It's now Felix. Dang, you got him. I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can do.
All right.
I look very helplessly towards Felix.
What is everyone's passive perception?
11.
11.
Perception. Where's perception?
So on your sheet there, Tank, over to the far left, you're going to scroll down. There'll be a little box that says passive perception and passive things.
Yeah. +5? Is it wisdom +5 or just +5?
I believe +5, but I think I know what yours is. Felix?
13.
13. So most of you would hear this as that knight falls, you the blunt end, you hear a small rumbling. Just a bit of a sound of echoing from this area.
Oh no.
Nothing coming through that door or that wall, but almost like several feet past it. Just this low rumble of movement of force. And that's it. All right. So, Velzin, that was your turn.
Yes.
Okay. As Felix, now possessed by this spirit. You, over there! The one knight has been trying to shoot Strigid is currently like getting his frozen feet off the ground. Go reunite with our lord, will you? I think he's just about done with what he needed from this place. As this knight starts to use his double dash to leave and go through the hallway doors. The other knight, currently in combat with you, Velzin, gonna just finish what they started, 2 attacks against you. That is a natural 20 on one of my hits.
Yikes.
Am I able to do reactions when I'm possessed?
No.
Dang it.
Your whole viewpoint is just looking out through these little holes. Like your world is, you're not in control of it. Someone's in the driver's seat right now.
Well.
So that is going to be, the second one is a 19.
My AC is 19.
Just hits. Okay. So that's 11, 22.
Ooh, 22.
I'm gonna do a spirit shield again.
Yes, thank you.
So that would raise your AC to 21.
No, it's going to mitigate some of the damage.
2d6.
Oh, sorry. That's correct. So yeah, roll that 2d6.
9. Take away 9 of that.
Take away 9 from 22. Okay, that every bit helps.
Yes, it does.
And then the second hit, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of slashing damage on top of that for the second hit.
Got it.
So once again,
21 damage total.
that knight just, as you smacked him, almost like a disrespectful smack with the blunt end of your staff, just sewed in to the naturalistic instinct of this proud knight, and is just going at you with just fury and rage. And somehow Tyran is able to use this essence that's just ominously floating around him. You take a giant gash in the front of your chest. Some of your armor isn't fully covering it. You got some pauldrons and some things on your forearms, but a massive slice hits you. It stings, it's guttural, it almost floors you, but that same wound starts to just, as soon as it's open, starts to close up somehow. And this mysterious force, you can kind of see it roaming around your hit. You look up to Tyran as he's just waving his hands around, focusing on you. As the knight then takes that longsword, does that gash, then flips the blade to where the armpit is, so he has the handle here, and just uppercuts it into your jaw to answer back for the hit that you took across his cheekbone.
Oh boy.
And that will be the start of another round of combat. We go to Tyran. Got one knight left in the room.
All right, I'm going after him.
Okay.
13 plus 6, 19.
19 will hit. Roll damage. Add advantage.
That is 12 for the first one.
12 will miss. So make another attack because you got extra attack. Add advantage again.
No, the first one was 19. Did the 19 hit?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that did hit.
So then it was a 12 for damage.
Sorry, I keep thinking 2 hits. No, yep, until 12 damage there. And then roll for the second hit.
That is 16.
So once again, with this knight fighting against Velzin, crack! Velzin, you just feel this anger inside you. Blood starts pouring down from your lip, but quelled with fear, these knights that you've revered for so long, tarnishing that dream right in front of you. How could this be? Why are they doing it?
They must be possessed. They must be possessed. They're not acting out of their own will.
And then
It's
all
the
of a
only
sudden,
reason.
Then all of a sudden, as you're having these thoughts, you're not really sure what your next move's going to be. This stout dwarf, representing what you've always aspire to be with the Knight of Solamnia just jumps up and uses the brunt end of the hammer that they have and just starts to use his heavy weight to try to bring down the Knight of Solamnia. And just wham! Puts them down on the ground, grabs a bit of their chest breastplate and the bottom half, lifts him above his stout dwarven head and just backbreakers him across their knee and throws them into the ground as they skitter across the marble slab into tables and chairs and just stands there in front of you.
I'm stunned and looking at this warrior, this true warrior in awe.
And it is with that, the last night falling, we're going to get out of combat as the mood suddenly changes. No knights left in the room, but Felix stands there before you as a slow clap starts to emanate from Felix. Noticing you, this entity clears their throat and bombastically declares, "Hail, friends, and fear not, for your heroes have arrived," and just points to the massacre in the council room. "I, Knight Cadrock, bring word that the Knights of Solamnia at this very moment, en route with all manner of pomp and mustache wax and whatever else they bother with these days," and he gestures at the corpses about the room, "do try to contain yourself better than this lot did."
The actual knights are on their way here right now.
No, of course not, you idiot. Why would they be coming here? Jeez, so gullible.
No, that is not the first time that Velzin has been called gullible, and I'm going to grapple Felix.
Okay, so you rush up, grab Felix, he goes, "Oh, be careful now. You might damage the ghouls."
Get out of him! And I'm gonna shake him.
You just... Is that any way to treat the Knights of Solamnia? How dare
Smack.
you! Roll to attack, unarmed hit.
Yep. Oh, that's a I'm sorry, 21 to hit, and unarmed. Okay, that's gonna be. Oh man, I rolled a 6. I rolled max damage on my unarmed strike.
Word. 6 points of damage.
And a little drop of blood comes down Felix's mouth. You know, you could just do this all day. It's not gonna matter. I think your friend's body is gonna be like a little bit of a glass of prune juice at this point.
Well, what do you want then? I asked you before.
Well, looking about the room, I think we got what we were looking for. He should be done about now anyway.
Who should be done?
The friend who escaped went to check on someone.
Oh,
Called
not
him here.
Not him. Someone else entirely.
Can I make an insight check or like trying to figure out what he's talking about?
Sure. You can make a insight or intelligence history check if you like.
Insight's a lot better. That was terrible. I got a 5.
Can we all roll or just
Sure, yeah. Let's all roll history check if you like to see if any of this is coming to you.
I'd like to do something totally different.
Okay.
After smacking Felix, I can wait for this to resolve before I do my.
Sure. I rolled a 17 on history.
Okay. So Strigid, as you're hearing my lord, or he said, go attend to our lord. Not that knight. Whoever's doing what he's doing is done by now. The name Cadrock. Are you familiar with the Knights of Solamnia at all? And more specifically, is Strigid, or through their experiences, familiar with the Cataclysm at all?
I may have learned something of it when I was being taught by the Conclave of High Sorcery in my early 20s before I left.
Okay. So in that tutelage, the Mages of High Sorcery, much like the Knights of Lamnia, very old, have been around thousands of years since their creation. They are privy to some moments of history that maybe some aren't, keeping very detailed records and things alike. Cadrock, Knights of Solamnia, Order of the Red Rose? And you start to look around at the knights on the ground where their insignias were kind of smattered a little bit, like they're a little worn. Their armor a bit dirty, which is a little unlike Knights of Solamnia. They're kind of clean freaks and like everything to be a bit more pristine. But then you see those trails of those vines and those thorns that you saw on them could resemble thorns of the rose stems, but that's the name of someone who died during the Cataclysm. And a particular group of the Order of the Rose who got wiped out during that time.
I relay this to the rest of the team. So you're interested in bringing back the dead?
Oh, a bit of a history buff, are you? Well, that's part of it, yes, but there's larger things in play here, little bird, that you shouldn't worry your white-feathered head about.
Do you want to spend the rest of your spirit life trapped in a closet? Because we can arrange to put this body in there. I feel bad for little Felix, but I didn't really know him that well.
Well, that is one option, yes. I could live out the rest of my days longing for life inside of a steel cage until this vessel dies and eventually gets old, and I'll just move on to the next one. I can wait forever. Can you?
And in that moment, I grab a hold of Felix's shoulders and I cast Protection from Evil and Good.
Ooh.
If the target is already possessed, then, you're protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, fiends, and undead. And the target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. But if you're already, then you have advantage on any new saving throws against that.
Interessante.
Okay. Okay. So I will have Felix roll that charisma saving throw at advantage.
Absolutely. That's a natural 20.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
What a pivotal... Nothing like someone in the room being like, I can wait all day. Okay, let's things were said. All right, so as Velzin starts to angle around Felix, whatever's possessing this person that you now know as the name of Cadrock, spewing facts, nothing you can do can harm the situation, whatever. You suddenly just get behind and you drop your hand down by your waist, and this radiant golden light starts to singe and crackle in the palm of your hand, transferring over to the other one, giving it a little bit of time to kind of charge up, and you just get a bit close, and you're like, got one shot at this. Is there anything you want to say as you make your hands go and touch the shoulders of Felix?
I grab a hold of his shoulders and I lean in and I whisper into his ear, "Be gone!"
That
And
voice...
this radiant light just bursts.
And that voice echoes deep, thunderous throughout the halls of this council chamber. Be gone, gone, gone. And you just see Felix's body, like they're getting shocked by 1,000 volts of electricity. And all of a sudden, this spirit just spews forth from Felix's mouth. Who I put over here. Take the cards out of there. Right back there. And you're seeing a Knight of Solamnia, Order of the Rose, donning the armor, but in a spectral form. Can't see really the pigment of the skin, but bald, clean shaven, fairly young, probably like young 30s looking. Sword still there. Interesting. Good move.
What are we?
But there's another option. Sure, you could kill me, a lonely spirit who's just wafting around here, doing what he's told. Or maybe you might have a bit of time to catch up against the person who's might be running away with something that might murder you all. Your choice. I won't let you be swayed either way, but I'll wait.
So this thing coughed out of me. How's Felix feeling?
Felix feels fine. Just feels like you just hawked like a big boogie out of the back of your throat. And like your body temperature goes back to normal, the hair on the back of your head is back, and you're just, suddenly those like goggles that were very far away from you, getting farther and farther, suddenly just, and you just go right back to you.
Ow!
How long ago did that guy run away? Like inside the
you're like, it's been like 10 minutes maybe, like not too long.
Oh no. I turn to Strigid. What do we do?
We could split up. I can move fast. I immediately leave the room to try to track down that other person that left.
Okay. So as you reach down the hallway, you open the front doors. You don't see them. There's sort of a long hallway with a long carpet, the tapestry, the stained glass windows, and then stairs that start to descend down.
I keep going. I fly down. I don't know if anyone wants to come with me, but I've just been moving. My flying speed is only 30 feet, so I'm not much faster than any of you.
The rest of you in the room, that wherever that vibration was coming from that you noticed earlier, you notice a strange purple light coming out from the outline of this bookcase. Yes, go, please. Run. Catch up.
What is that light?
Go. Flee. Run after the knight. Go get him. You can still make it. I believe in you.
What is this light? And I point at it. What's happening right now? Talk.
Speak or you will get the hammer.
Make an intimidation check.
Nice.
Both of you, Velzin and Tyran.
What do I roll for that? 20?
So you're gonna roll your d20 plus your intimidation mod. And then Strigid, I'll get to you as you kind of go through the stairs and start to make your way through the entrance.
Can I rule this as an assist and grant him advantage on this?
Sure.
All right. That's a 15.
15. Of course, I rolled a natural one at that moment. Cool. Okay. So with the hammer out, he's been privy to all of the corpses you've just left behind with your hammer and your prowess. He goes, okay. Anyone here heard of the Cataclysm?
Yes. Of course.
Right? Ooh, scary, fiery. The gods come down, rain fire upon the land, changing it forever. Well, some of that fire still exists in places that most people don't know. And for our situation here, it exists in a place underneath this place. The castle of Calaman, although home to modern societies. For you Salamic Knight fans here, and looks over to Tyrion, this whole entire castle used to belong to an order. And some of the best warriors are entombed below it. Who would want to go into an undead tomb? Who would want to try to extract powerful arcane fire? It's so confusing. Ugh, what could it be? And just gestures down to the bookcase with the purple glow, starting to edge just outside of the bookcase.
Oh, trouble is coming. I don't know how much longer we should be here. You're down there, aren't you? Is that where your body lay resting?
Oh, I wish. No, my body got thrown about. Oh, what's going on now? Are we in the 1,000 years now? Something like that. No, downstairs, it's more of a resting place for knights way more famous and have accredited way more cool things in their lifetime than myself.
So you're working for somebody more powerful?
Oh, yeah.
I turn to Tyran and I say to him, I ask, Hammer?
Hammer.
Wait, what do you mean hammer?
I'm gonna attack.
Who's hammering what?
I attack. We're hammering you.
Yeah.
And I strike.
Wait, no, I'll take you down there. I'll take you down there. I'll be your guide. I'll be your spirit guide.
Oh, I don't trust this dude.
I want to try to stab him in the back with my rapier.
Yeah, I mean...
And as you go to raise your rapier up high, as you've just been quiet this whole time, you're like, weirdly enough, everyone in the room, Felix, Chatterbox this whole time, the entire time he's been back from being possessed, silent. The entire time. Not saying a word.
Love it.
And then all of a sudden, just this rabbit just goes, just comes up from behind. But as soon as you raise your rapier, Felix, and are about to put a stabbing motion into our spirit friend here, camera's gonna fade out, change direction over to Strigid as you race down the hallway, down the marble slab steps into a hallway, into a courtyard that's weirdly quiet. Like, you're not seeing any other guards, you're not seeing any other workers or helpers around in these rooms that you're passing by. You do hear the loud fireworks outside as you open the front two doors, and then revelry and music suddenly wisp their way back into your auditory senses as you're hearing like meads clinking around, people now walking down the market streets, and you're just looking about like, damn, the walls are blocking any view that you would have. But wings are out. You rocket up to the sky. Nighttime has now beset all of Calaman. The stars are out. The moon is in its crescent visage, shining down upon the land. And off in the distance, where this city is nestled into nearby mountaintops and rolling hills, you can see the knight on a black horse, sort of riding to the outskirts of the city. And on the top part, sort of hard to tell, but sort of behind the castle and up through the hilltops and the mountains, you see 4 riders, 4 knights of Solamnia on black horses. Again, faces shrouded, those horns, helmets, peering in the moonlight. One person in particular leading them on top of the hill, wreathed in black, shining armor, a helmet completely blocking their face, their cloak falling back down to the side. As you look over, and the knight looks at you, holding a sconce of purple flame. 2 red eyes, somehow through that distance, just pierce at you. And gives you another cold chill to your chest. Your heart starts to beat a second slower. And that is where we're gonna end tonight's session, everybody.
Oh.
Hey. Only 2 people died.
So yeah, everyone, that has been session 1 of DragonLance Shadow of War. I want to thank all my lovely players who are here. I want to thank the players that are not here who bit the dust. I want to thank everyone who's watching right now, whether you're watching live on our Questline Twitch or watching our Questline YouTube. Thank you so much. Don't forget, if you are watching this live on Twitch, please stick around after the end credits because we are going to show you our 1 of 4 final episodes of our flagship original show, Ready to Roll, that will be streaming right away, so don't go anywhere. Thank you so very much. See you all next Tuesday, 5 p.m. PST for session 2. We out. Bye, everybody.